I'm a little bit late. I was trying to mount NFTS. The typical Arch Linux stuff. I can't mount the drive that has all my fucking assets for the stream, so I'm just playing around, getting everything set up. I'm getting my Microsoft Edge. I use Microsoft Edge on Linux because, you know, I just trust Microsoft, and there's a new update that's come out. It's pretty exciting. Let's see what's next. What's coming out next on Microsoft Edge? Oh, built-in Pride themes directly into Microsoft Edge. That's weird. That's a bit out of date, isn't it? Oh wait, no, it's May. It's the end of May. It's June. It's June, chat. It's right there. I can't believe it's that time again. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it. They just took down their avatars from rainbow mode from last year. They kept it up all year long and it just went down, and now it's already time again. All right, listen. Before I really get into the stream, and there's a lot to say. I don't know what to tell you. Usually I group my shit into, like, organize it. I have like 8 different groups of shit to talk about, and there's so much I want to say. There's so much garbage to go through that I actually want to take an opportunity to ask my audience. And I'm going to leave this up over the weekend, so for people who don't get to watch this live, you will get a chance to vote on this. If you go to youtube.com, I think it's see mad at the internet. Yeah, youtube.com/c/mad at the internet, and you go to the community tab. I am posting this right now. I will actually show you this on screen now that I have the opportunity to, because I literally just posted this. I am going to split my streams. I simply have too much to say, too much content. And my notes are all over the fucking place. A little bit late. I didn't get time to properly test because I start preparing like at noon, and then 6 hours later, and I'm still like last second throwing shit together. So I need a second day to properly organize my thoughts and get everything going for the streams. And I will give you an opportunity to and it's been consistent. Last couple streams have been like getting longer and longer and longer, and I've had more to say, and my prep time is getting longer, and I can't do it all in one day. So I will give you guys a choice. And before you vote, I have an explanation here, but I will repeat it in case you're just finding it. If you vote for Saturday or Sunday, you're telling me split your stream topics in half. Have a more locale-oriented Friday, and then have your general bullshit Saturday or Sunday. If you're telling me to do it on Monday or Tuesday in particular is equidistant from Friday. And what you're saying is that you want to have 2 streams, basically the same thing in terms of topics, but smaller, just half it. And the second stream will take place during Amerimut hours. I'll broadcast at midnight my time, hopefully for 2 hours, and then I'll go to bed. So if you want, it depends on what you're up for. It will be at midnight EU time and at 6 p.m. Eastern, regardless of what day it's on. So It's up to you. Go vote on this. I will not. I will not. What's wrong with my mic? I will not. I will not close this anytime soon. It'll be up over the weekend, and then I guess until at least Tuesday, because that would make sense. Because then people who are active on YouTube on Tuesday have an opportunity to vote, and I will see what people have to say. So I believe in voting. I'm doing this specifically because I need actual direct feedback from people. Right now, it's Saturday is in the lead, but I will clump it this way. If Sunday loses to Saturday, I will add the votes of Sunday to Saturday, and if Tuesday, I will add Sunday to Saturday and Monday to Tuesday if those days lose, if that makes sense. Kind of like split it that way, and that's enough of that. I'm just saying I'm gonna start doing American hours more, and I'm gonna try to split what I have to say because I simply do too much for one stream, and it's becoming untenable. Okay, so now on to I warn you, this stream will be rage inducing. I have very little positive to say. It's very oriented towards a specific topic, obviously, considering the date, considering the times, the signs of the times. I try to keep things lighthearted, but it's becoming a more and more arduous task to stay lighthearted as time progresses. I before I get into actual the content, I just want to give a brief update on the forum. And the background is different because I lost my wallpaper that's in my podcast assets folder that I can't access without restarting my computer because I updated my kernel, and now I can't use NTFS 3 to mount the drive. And instead of doing that, I am simply going to download a picture of a hamster and a different wallpaper and use that for the stream, and then I'll fix it next stream. The site is on Tor. So if you cannot access the site, it's t.me/Kiwi Farms. It is up. It has been up for the last few weeks. We have about 1/4, 1/5 the usual audience because a lot of people can't be asked to use Tor. I understand. Don't worry about it. It'll come back. But it's still up on Tor. I'm waiting on something from 2 other people. And then if that doesn't happen, then I'll start making other plans. But right now I'm just going to take it easy and working on something. And that's it. Okay, so now let's continue. I am anxious to get into what I have to say because otherwise the stream will last literally forever, and I just nobody has time for that. This is from last year, but there is a big hoopla. There is Target has announced that they're going to have a whole Pride child section clothing arrangement. Here's a little black boy and or girl, I guess at this point it doesn't matter, wearing a trans rights are human rights t-shirt, which of course is every child's favorite thing. Here's a little girl wearing a Pride Kids pronoun short sleeve, she, her, they, he, him, us. So she's
Thank
all
you for
of
the
those.
money. I will spend it on drugs.
Thank you again, my friend. Now I don't have slides for all of this, but there's a lot more gross shit. There's a whole Target Kids logo. I'll try to find that actually, because that's particularly succinct and vile. Assuming that my VPN wants to play fair with me, which it may not want to. Target. Ooh, I do not want to accept our cookies. Target Kids Pride. I want to get that. Here. Oh, here we can wear this. This is great for your kids. Oh, it redirects me. That's not what I want. I really hate the modern browsing experience. It's just the most obnoxious fucking thing on the planet. This has, I have picked a fucking image. There we go. Trans people will always exist. And then as you enter the Target, the Target, and you start looking for your clothes for your kids, you'll see the mark of the beast hanging over the kids section, letting you know that this is a compromised area. Here's a close-up of this. The whole arrangement for June for children's clothing is Pride themed. It has these really awesome progressive tags on all the clothes. LGBTQIA plus Target design for our Pride collection. And there was a logo I saw that was just Target Pride Kids, and it was just colored with the trans flag and shit. It was pretty fucking nauseating. Oh, here we go. Awesome. This is awesome. This is what I love to see. Amazing. From what I have heard, I believe I'm going to be pissed off if I don't have the link to this. I want to say that Target is backing out of this. I want to say Target canceled on this. Let's see. Target cancels Pride. Target removing some Pride merchandise after anti-LGBTQ threats against staff. Which ones is it removing though? I want to say. They're still like super. No, I was misinformed. I was told that Target was completely canceling it, but they are not. And I may have a tab for that. We'll see. I have more tabs open. Like I said, I was throwing shit together last minute. So, oh, here's the statement that I was looking for, because I saw this. Here's their press statement regarding the controversy over their Pride collection. It says, Target statement on the 2023 Pride collection. For more than a decade, Target has offered an assortment of products aimed at celebrating Pride Month. Since introducing this year's collection, we've experienced threats impacting our team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work. Given these volatile circumstances, we are making adjustments to our plans, including removing items that have been at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. Our focus now is moving forward with our continuing commitment to the LGBTQIA+ community and standing with them as we celebrate Pride Month and throughout the year. Throughout the year, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear this shit all fucking year. Montana doesn't, though. Montana, which is making up for the fact that they have I guess that now they have that Missoula tranny married to Aaron Reed in Congress. All the other senators are like super grossed out and have to double down. So Montana has become the first state to ban drag performers from reading to children in schools and libraries. From the LGBTQ+ community. Here's them. I see this fat tranny all the fucking time, and I think that they're like a CIA asset or something, because they get planted everywhere where the protest is necessary. They just show up coincidentally at all the. I mean, imagine being one of these people. If you're like just a fat tranny and you're getting paid by George Soros to like travel the entire country, like what a cushy gig. What a cushy gig. You want to visit Montana, one of the most beautiful states in the entire world. Yeah, sure. Here, go protest in Helena for like a day. Do your fat tranny thing, and then take a nice drive through the scenic Yellowstone Park as you pass through Wyoming on your way back. Such is the life, the luxurious life of a CIA asset. However, they do literally require your cock and balls in order to get this position. So it is a bit of a catch-22 there. Trigonometry is a podcast that was in. Apparently, they weren't like super anti whatever, because they're British. They can only get so anti, so controversial. But they have been kicked off their bank account for having anti-LGBTQIA+ people in their podcast. So here's a nice dose of reality for all the normies. They're feeling really bold now that they can just go out and debank normies. You just say openly, no, you don't get to participate in our global financial system anymore. You have no right to have access to a bank account. Reminds me of, I think, who was the one that said life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness? I think it was Jefferson, wasn't it? From Thomas Jefferson. Yes, I'm fucking right again. Originally that was supposed to be life, liberty, and pursuit of property, because as far as Jefferson was concerned, having property was being able to pursue property was to be able to pursue happiness. And they know that, so that's where they take away all your shit. So I don't know. I don't want to play through this. It's not worth it. And the audio quality is terrible. 500,000 subscribers. And listen to this.
Mark, this wasn't really ever about us. We were always going to be okay. As you said, we're pretty big now and we can weather the storm. What concerns me is the contempt with the rights of children. They lost
500,000 subscribers and they got all this fuck. I guess they don't have any money anymore because they lost their bank accounts. But can you get like a microphone or something? Can you like hire somebody to like fuck with your audio? Is there nobody in England that can do your? I mean, my audio is better. My audio is terrible. And yeah, I won't force you to listen to British people. This was pointed out to me, and this is your flag bit for the stream. This is from Tumblr, I guess. Fax Machine saying, cutting the invasive progressive chevron out of the pride flag is such a powerful statement of rejection and resistance of forced teaming. And for all you gays out there, this is actually an incredibly based, a vexillological approach to protests, and I will explain why. First of all, let me just say this, that when you have a flag that is has peaks like that at the end, that's called a swallowtail flag. That exists, for instance, in the Ohio flag. Ohio state flag is a swallow-tailed flag. However, swallow-tailed flags also exist mostly in naval ensigns. Both the Polish and German navies, or coast guards rather, have swallow-tailed naval ensigns. However, the act of removing a part of a flag to protest something also has historical precedence. Most famously, in the October revolutions of Hungary, when they were protesting the communist occupation, they cut out the communist emblem from the Hungarian flag and flew it with the circle. And they still fly the flag with the circle cut out to this day on certain memorial days. And they do this also in Romania and East Germany, I want to say. They will also fly the circle cut out flags. So if you are a gay and you don't like the Troons fucking up your movement, and you're finding it increasingly difficult to find flags that are not fucked up with that hideous, weird blue, white, pink, brown, black thing that they've tacked on called the progressive flag, you can cut it out, and that would be a very historically accurate way and a great symbol, because when you see it and you see the missing piece, you know exactly what that flag says. So good on you, Fax Machine. Very vexillological of you. Good job. It's requested to read some poetry today. I've read through this a couple times. I have absolutely no idea how to read it aloud properly. It does not seem to have any rhythm, but I'll just get into it. This is called by Jackie Sabach, saying titled, "A child clocks me at the bodega. First of all, you're a bitch. Second of all, I look amazing. I wore a silk dress. For the cashiers, I use my upper register. My face is the sort of glowy you see in felons. The child said, 'Mommy, is that a boy?' And the mother said, 'I don't know.' I have to hand it to her. She doesn't, but I wouldn't have. Said the same of her. I go home and cry for 3 hours. I throw quesadillas at the wall, the same quesadillas. You ask me why I always get, and I didn't know what to say. They're $4.99 and they're perfect. I miss you all the time. You don't think of me, and my face is growing old." Quesadillas reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon, go inside and get yourself a quesadilla. Jackie, stop crying about how you don't pass and go inside and get yourself a quesadilla, and don't throw it at the goddamn wall this time, or if you do, you have to clean it up. I ain't cleaning up your fucking quesadillas no more. Crawling in my quesadillas. Is that the new Tendy Man? That's right. It's, when a Spurg from Pole gets upset, he loses all of his tendies. But when a tranny gets clocked at the bodega, it's quesadillas being thrown across the parking lot. Okay, now. Oh man, there's more. Okay, I'll download this as I show you this. This is a swimsuit model for I don't even know. I don't know who dared put this up, but they did. And I have a friend, a close friend of mine, who would have some choice words to describe this image. In fact, I happen to have these choice words right here.
It says nigger faggot, nigger faggot, nigger faggot. We're gonna start.
I don't know. I don't know if I can co-sign that, iDubbbz. That's a bit too offensive for me. I mean, it's just a young man enjoying his body in a onesie. Okay, here. I do actually have this saved. I did actually do my due diligence, because now that everything's on tour, I have to be like extra super careful to download it before the stream starts.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual. And today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite you to come out in nature with us. Wow, this is nice. We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride. This tour has everything. Hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year, we gay sashayed across the nation and celebrated Pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year, we're back again with 2 new stops. Atlanta, GA. Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Patty, can we go?
Of course! This year, all these fabulous speakers will be coming from inside this TV to a nature near you. So come outside and celebrate the beautiful LGHGTV community.
The brand is the North Face, in case you're wondering.
Yay.
I am considering, and I've actually taken a step forward. The thing is, I'm just so fucking busy. I don't have time to do the things that I want to do. But I am considering maybe offloading this to people who want to help. I have bought the domains pridefall.org, pridebeforefall.org, pridecomes-before-fall.org, and pridegoes-before-fall.org. I am considering putting together a list of companies that are pushing this shit, especially towards kids, and having a searchable database of all this gay shit and just putting it up during Pride Month and seeing what happens. So the thing is, I would like to get it up before June, and that's a bit of a big ask. Here's my criteria for this though. And I don't know if people would consider. I would say I want to have this explicitly focused on the gay shit. So not like the general woke shit, like, oh, Disney's making the Little Mermaid black and with whiter eyes than Joshua Moon. That wouldn't count. But like I would have it 3 tiers where it's like, 1 is anything aggressively targeted towards children. So the target shit would be at 1. And then it would be like 2 would be like just really pushing, especially the trans shit that like replaces women, and in particular would be like a 2, and then 3 is just like any general trans shit. So like the Bud Light shit would be like a 3, Target would be a 1, and then whatever for 2. It's something like that, something where it tiers it like that, and just exclude general woke complaints, so that it's super laser focused. And then make sure that, like, for instance, I imagine it like this, like, let's say that you're like just some dude and you're like, I used to drink Bud Light, but now I know that Bud Light got all that gay shit in it, and I don't know if they brew that with HRT anymore. And then you're like, what about Coors Light? Is Coors Light like also woke? And you look it up and you're like, oh, that's like a part. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's like, oh, that's a part of InBev. So if I'm boycotting InBev, I also don't want to get a Coors Light. That's how it plays out in my mind. You know what I mean? Where it's like if they play the field with like one of their companies, then they all get tagged as being cringe. So that's my idea. We'll see if we do it. It's a lot of, it won't be that much work is the thing. It's not that much work, so it's doable, and I might be able to offload it on other people. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Okay, so the next part of this is I could talk about this. Someone asked me to talk about this and I didn't last stream. I guess I will mention this. So someone asked me what my opinion was of the bike Karen, and it's like this fucking guy got into a fight with this like woman over her it's like a rented scooter that not even a rented scooter, it's like a rented pedal bicycle, and this black guy like kicks her off and starts yelling at her, and then he published like on the internet. Oh, sorry, I I tried to click the mute button so I could cough, and I turned off the screen and coughed directly to the microphone. Sorry, that's really rude of me. So the black guy like kicks her off, and then she gets fired from her job or put on suspended leave or some shit. Here's the full video. Watch it.
Help! Help me! Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me! Help! Please get off me!
They're just laughing. It's funny. A white woman can scream for help around 3 black guys, and they just laugh because they know nobody's going to do anything because it's New York. She could be getting like gang raped, and nobody would fucking care.
Yo, don't let him take it, bro. Now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Now you're not getting the bike. Help!
You're not getting
Get
the
off
bike.
me,
I'm
dude.
not.
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
You're not
Don't touch
touching
his
my
phone.
phone.
Do not touch his phone.
I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my hand.
No, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please help me.
She's just crying.
You're not crying. I got
Stupid.
I got
It's
your
my
video.
bike.
Wait, you pulled it out? Hey, Hassan, you pulled it out? Hassan, you pulled it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his. It's his.
Reset it, and then pull it out on your account.
You are active. This is my fake crying. This is fake crying. Stop fake crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I don't touch you.
So if you're wondering what the real story is, she was in the right. She did rent. She actually rented that bike like ahead of time. It was reserved because she's like a nurse and has to go to work. She then got fired from her job or put on suspended leave, and is now suing the publications that called her a racist because they took his bullshit TikTok video of him saying, "Oh shit, this bitch is racist and shit, stealing our bikes and shit," and then ran with that and just called her a racist cunt. And they didn't do any fact checking whatsoever. And then she got fired because of it, which is economic damage. And now she is suing the publications, and I hope she wins. And reminder that if you live in the city, you're a fucking retard. All right. Now, if you're already angry, prepare to be as angry as you can possibly be.
Cow achievement. Trans women can indeed lactate. You would follow the Newman-Goldfarb protocol, a medical protocol designed to help women induce lactation if they were not like getting pregnant themselves. I'm gonna be a mother. That's in the works, in the process. And part of that process is that I am working to induce lactation to be able to breastfeed our youngest child. Yeah, actually mommy Naomi. I've actually already successfully induced lactation. Like, I can actually make milk now, which has been a very interesting and very cool experience. It's like very biologically affirming too, which is something that's like gatekept from trans women, like so difficult. Both motherly and
Okay, so this person is named Naomi, allegedly, and they put out a little TikTok video saying, guess what? Through the magic of science, I have been able to activate my male mammillary glands, which are usually inactive in a man, and produce milk, which I now intend to feed to my adopted infant son. And there is picture evidence, which of course Naomi has posted to the internet, proving that he has in fact managed to breastfeed his son. Actually, he's pumping and then using a bottle feed because it doesn't work naturally. Go figure. The baby's unable to latch and extract the liquid from his nipples, so he's having to pump first. Here is the baby. Motherhood is beautiful, says Naomi. You might notice that's an 18+ account. That's because that Naomi posts his OnlyFans porn to the same Twitter channel that he is posting pictures of the baby on. So, Alana says, I just found out this guy has an OnlyFans where he often dresses up in cow print and cow ears and calls lactation cow achievement. I feel sick. Quoting Naomi saying, just finished my morning pumping and I can confirm you that it is indeed breast milk. I can cite peer-reviewed journal articles about lactation and trans women, but they might just be too hard for you to read because your post-millennial is written at an elementary school level. And here is the OnlyFans content where Naomi is dressed up as a fat tranny in cow print and doing moo stuff for all the tranny cow fetishists out there. One such picture, this picture, you may notice, has a filter that is off, so we can zoom in and really see. Actually, no, this is still filtered to shit. It's just not doing as good a job as the other filters. So this is a man with hair extensions who is ready to be a cow. Now, I've actually listened to this. This is Naomi's 20 minute long rebuttal to all the hate he has gotten. And this part in particular stood out to me, which I will play for you now.
Lactation induction in a transgender woman, macronutrient analysis, and patient perspectives. Here was actually the table of the nutrients in the trans woman's milk compared to control milk. And what's really funny is that every nutrient, the trans woman's milk was better than the control milk provided by a cis woman. More proteins, more fats, more lactose, more calories. And what the...
So, I clipped that because it was really Keffel's ass. The whole being a trans woman is not being a woman. It's about being better than women. He goes on to say at some point in this article that cis men can also lactate, which if you have specific conditions, you can lactate as a man. This is true. This has been documented. The first article that he cited, and I pulled this up, was from 1981, and of course they just call it breast fluid of a man, not milk. But they compare the nutritional value of it with a woman's milk, from the man that has male galactorrhea versus breast milk from a woman. Both the samples taken from 3 samples taken from a man a month apart, and colostrum and milk from a woman. Colostrum, if you don't know, is the first milk that a woman has while pregnant. It starts like the week before, and it's like the week of the birth. And this is also important in cows as well. It's called colostrum. This I don't know what Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, copyright 1981 from the Endocrine Society. This is out of Australia for the person who asked, and it evaluates the nutritional value of the male excretion from the female excretion, and it's about the same. Then Naomi cites another article, which I'll talk about in greater detail, but also cites this one from very recently, the lactation induction in transgender women macronutrient analysis and patient perspectives. This one is locked, and that was not on PubSci or whatever the fuck. So I bought it. I read through both of these journals. This is only 2 pages, and this one is not much longer. I paid $30, and I will share this with a couple people who may be interested in the scientific values of this to see if it gets out there. So this is what it says. This is from a woman. I'll get into that in a second. I read through it. Now, you can't see this because it's tilted. You can tilt your head if you want to. But the training was on estradiol, progesterone, and domperidone. Estradiol is just regular estrogen that they give trannies. Progesterone is what they use to help produce lactation, even in women. And domperidone is an androgen that they give to transgenders that is also, it was formulated as a heart medication and causes heart complications. And then this is the actual nutritional value of the milk evaluated from the trans person, according to this one person. It's conducted by one clinician on, I think, the other one that they said it was 4 people, and then this one is 1 person. And at no point in this study, the other study, do they consider the actual child and what that could do to the child at any point. The thing that's really, really interesting that I will point out from this is that, and sorry, this is on the sideways page, so you have to like tilt your head if you want to see it. At all points, although the composition of the male breast liquid does change, similar to the way that colostrum changes with milk, the volume does not change, regardless to how they tweak the medications that the patient was taking. It's always 150 milliliters per day. If you want to open up your calculator right now and do 150 milliliters to ounce, you'll see that that is 5 imperial fluid ounces. And then you can type into Google or your preferred chat program or ChatGPT, how much milk does a baby need per day? Keep in mind that this volume is per day. It is not per pump. It is per day. At the first week, a baby will need 150 to 200 milliliters per kilo of their weight. At no point from the moment a child is born does a tranny because in men you have fewer milk producing mammary glands. So at no point does the tranny produce enough milk. And what's very interesting about both the second study, which I don't have access to, and this study, but I do have an analysis of it, at no point ever do the clinicians ask a very important question outside of that. Let's do before I say what it is, what's very conspicuously absent from the analysis of the contents of the male breast fluid is this. Let's say that we had a big pool of shit. It was just a big pool of feces somewhere in Africa. And it's a big pool of pee-pee poo-poo. And there's no water anywhere near this. All the water in the area is in the big pool of pee-pee poo-poo. And all the starving Africans are dying of thirst and they need to drink water. And the only way that they could possibly get water is if this giant pool No, Aiden, I had to pay for it. Aiden, if you want to shoot me an email, I will send you this with the DOI and you'll see that it's not on PubSci. And I don't know, maybe that'll change over time, hint, hint. But so we have this big pool of feces, right? And the Africans need to drink from it. So a genius from the LA School of Medicine says, I have this carnivorous flesh-eating bacteria. And when I found out on accident that if we put this flesh-eating, deadly to humans bacteria in the pee-pee poo-poo water, it also purifies the water. It cleanses the water of any human excrement. And then all we have to do is take that, boil it, mix it with some chlorine, and we have water with zero trace of pee-pee poo-poo. What is your first thought when you hear this? Do you think maybe, what about the carnivorous flesh-eating bacteria? Well, what about the chlorine? Are there any traces of that? And you're reading the study, and it makes no mention of how much chlorine and carnivorous flesh-eating bacteria is in the output of the water and how safe it is to actually drink. The breast milk analysis that I have seen, all three of them, make zero mention about how much estradiol, progesterone, and domperidone ends up in the breast milk. They don't even acknowledge that there is any risk that the breast milk might have these contaminants in them. And if you want to know how retarded it is, like, well, I don't know, maybe it's like purified by the kidneys and it's just like assumed automatically that nothing leaks in from what you eat to breast milk. No. If you go on antibiotics as a woman, you stop breastfeeding. If you go under anesthesia, you stop breastfeeding. If you drink, you have to pump and dump your breast milk. If you take any kind of intoxicants, you are advised to pump and dump your breast milk because you don't want any of that shit ending up in the breast milk, and it does end up in the breast milk. So, you can be guaranteed that in this cute picture of Naomi and their beautiful child, that it has ingested by proxy estradiol, progesterone, and domperidone. Because there is no consideration that is going to end up in the breast milk, and it certainly does. So he's sitting there saying, actually, it's better than women. I'm better than women. Doesn't even consider pumping drugs straight into that kid's mouth. And neither does what are we talking about? Neither does Amy Weimer. Amy K. Weimer. I mean, it's one letter off. If this person's name was Amy K. Weimar, I would be. I am just saying that's like a crazy level coincidence. In case I'll talk about Miss Weimer a little bit more. So this is an article. I will post this in the chat, and I'll hopefully remember to include it within the actual a description of the video as well. He taught, or she, I think this is a woman, probably a woman, but she's a doctor, and she goes over the clinical trials, and this is way too long to read, but he or she, the doctor, covers their concerns with the study. One of them is that the contamination. I think that they also mentioned the volume. Yes. Considering that a 5-pound baby needs 12 ounces of breast milk and more as their weight increases, 8 ounces was clearly never enough. So the authors claim that the patient managed to achieve the volume of milk that allowed him to be the sole source of nourishment for her children is incorrect. If there is flatly, there is no way for a tranny to be the sole source of nutrition, even barring everything else. If we assume that is a highly nutritious and pure source of energy and nutrients for a baby, they do not create enough of it. They would have to be mixed with formula. The authors of the study give no indication that they analyzed the content of the man's nipple discharge, even though they talked at length about the benefits of breastfeeding on the mother and baby, none of which were applicable to the male patient or indeed the infant he allegedly fed. The study did not explore the reasons behind the fully sexed males. So the tranny that was in that study also was intact. They didn't even have their dick removed at that point. Considering that psychosexual disorders such as autogenophilia are present in proportionally typically fully sexed heterosexual males who identify as trans women, that is an ethical issue. They mentioned that the troon that was in the study here. There is no evidence that clinicians who conducted this experiment met or interviewed with the mother to confirm these claims, or that they obtained informed consent from the mother by discussing possible risks that male-induced drug nipple discharge could pose to the infant. So the tranny arrived and said that, explained that her partner was pregnant but not interested in breastfeeding, and that she, the trans-identified male patient, hoped to take on the role of being the primary food source for her infant. At no point ever did the clinicians decide, should we check and see if this is true? Should we talk to the mother and make sure that this is actually what's happening? As far as the journal discloses, that is not the case. So the guy just walked in there and said, I want to be a cow, moo, moo, moo. And they're like, all right, boy, welcome to LA. We're going to fix you up right here. And they just rolled with it. So this is not the same drug combination that was in the third study that I read. But the doctor says, furthermore, there's no evidence of the patient's... So this is outside. This is medication that the tranny in this case, by the way, the tranny in this study, 47 years old, 47-year-old baby conceived with IVF. It says there's no evidence that the patient stopped using clonazepam, which can cause sedation in infants, or zolpidem, also known as Ambien, which could exacerbate effects of clonazepam after the feeding commenced. So he was already on 2 different medications that can cause sedation issues through the breast milk, because again, medication contamination in breast milk is important. No indication that he stopped doing that before they started breastfeeding. When we talk about the safety of drugs in breastfeeding, they weigh benefits of breastfeeding on health and bonding between mother and child, with risks withdrawing medically necessary medicines mother might be taking. Mothers who take medications that could be passed to their babies via breast milk often decide not to breastfeed just so that they don't risk affecting their baby's health. Contrast this with a man who takes unnecessary medications, one of which is banned in the United States, just so they can fulfill his desire to breastfeed. And that is in reference to... I got domperidone wrong. It was... Spironolactone is a heart medication used for its side effect of androgens, and is banned in the United States for that purpose. Estradiol and micronized progesterone, and occasional clonazepam and zolpidem for panic disorder and insomnia. So we have a 47-year-old male to female autogenephiliac on Ambien and I don't know if clonazepam is an SRI, but it's like... what is it? I'm not a doctor. I can only... Klonopin or Rivotril, used to prevent seizures, panic disorders, anxiety disorders, and movement disorder known as akathisia, is a tranquilizer of the benzodiazepine class. So it's a benzodiazepine that he needs to take because he has panic attacks because he's a gross freak of nature and everybody knows it. And when he walks down the streets, he can feel the hate pouring upon him like the fires of hell. So I will leave it there. This is a very well-written article. It can be understood in plain English. It's on a website that's very hard to say aloud, especially for me. La Scapiglacia. It's written there. .com. This is from 2018. So I would love to see if they have more articles, especially about this last one that just came out. And on that note, here's a quote. And I mentioned this third one because Naomi is actually directly quoting it from this. But there are some other interesting tidbits from it. Although there have been now 2 formally documented cases of successfully breastfeeding in trans women, there's an ongoing barrier to exclusive breastfeeding in trans women, in which there is relatively low milk supply. This was seen in both our case and the one presented by Riesman and Goldstein. The volume of breast milk produced by both the trans women in these case studies would not sustain a growing infant without supplementation. Supply deficiencies may be due to a lack of hormonal regimen guidelines for trans women or fewer ducts in alveoli in trans women compared to cis women, which is the main thing. Let's take a look at a boob. This is a boob. You can see that it's pointing to the... Where is it? Alveoli. I don't know which of these produce milk. I'm assuming that this shit in the middle does. Now, this is booba. See it? This is a male booba. It doesn't have the shit in it. There's fewer of them. They develop when you become a woman. If you never become a woman because you're a man, you don't get the shit, and you don't have a booba, and you can't make as much. You may have some residual ducts, but you're never going to have what a woman has. Where is it? It is known that oral progesterone is not well absorbed and is extensively metabolized by the liver. Therefore, other methods of progesterone delivery that bypass the liver may be superior for breast maturation and lactation induction. Regardless of the outcome pertaining to the volume of milk production, this case was successful in that our patient was able to have an experience that was formerly only available to cis women. We should therefore rethink what successful breastfeeding means. The main goal of lactation induction in transgender women may not necessarily be milk production, but rather non-nutritional benefits that come from breastfeeding. So this is what this glorious woman, Amy Weimar, has decided to conclude with. This is not a joke. Successful. This is from this one. Yeah. Where is it? I swear it's from this one. Am I like retarded? Oh, outcomes. Oh, maybe it was from the byline, whatever. So her conclusion is that, sure, the tranny is not able to produce enough milk to actually sustain life. We don't know if it's clean or not, or what the long-term adverse effects are. But the real benefit here is that they like it. And just because the baby doesn't benefit at all, who gives a fuck? That's not what this is about. And we should redefine we should redefine what success means so that we should redefine what the success this is where the scientific method is in 2023 when it comes to trannies. You ready? Used to be you have a hypothesis, you test it, you see the outcome, you draw a conclusion. Now we have a hypothesis, we do everything possible to make our hypothesis work, and then at the end, our conclusion is that we redefine the definition of success so that our hypothesis is true. Is your hypothesis wrong? Then just redefine what success means, and then it's success. Wow! Now that you consider it that way, that we're not actually trying to feed a child and raise a healthy offspring with our breast milk, and the definition of success is simply that it makes the tranny feel good and makes their pee-pee hard. then yeah, actually, this is a total success. Wow, I'm gonna publish this shit and charge $30 for it, and then we're gonna base how we behave as a society off this document. Wonderful. So I showed the publication by Zill Goldstein. Dr. I don't see a picture of Dr. Tamar Reisman here, but this is the wonderful MD Zill Goldstein, family nurse practitioner, and from the University of Southern California in Los Angeles, UCLA, an endocrinologist, diabetes and metabolism fellowship at UCLA's David Geffen School of Medicine. Oh, it gets better there, children. I think both of them, but Goldstein works at UCLA too, but Goldstein, both of them also went to, or sorry, only Reisman went to the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, New York. And now what about Miss Weimar? Well, Miss Weimar is a real woman. And I noticed this. If we go to her publication, she has some disclosures. I'm curious if what conflicts of interest exist. She published it for free. She didn't get paid to make this shit. What did Miss Weimar get out of publishing this? She says the authors declared the following potential conflicts of interest with respect to the research, authorship, and or publication of this article. The author was the treating physician for the participant in this case study. So case study N=1, funded and published out of her own interest. But what could her conflict of interest be? Oh, her son is trans. Her son is going to be a beautiful woman one day. Could that potentially be a conflict of interest that would be worth noting in your publication, that you have a trans child? No, that would be a stretch. Why would anyone care to know that? How would that distort my perspectives on this matter at all? Let's just draw conclusions and redefine the word success. I'm a doctor. Everything I do is right and educated. Trust the science, people. They know what they're doing. Look at her. She knows what she's doing. She's a mom. And she's made no bad decisions whatsoever with her little boy. Sorry, I mean, beautiful daughter. Maybe one day her beautiful daughter will. Maybe she can. I bet you she's the one writing prescriptions. Mommy knows best. Mommy knows exactly the dosage of progesterone. Oh, what fun words can I use? I'm going to try to mispronounce them all. She knows exactly how much estradiol and progesterone and domperidone and I was going to say the other ones as well. Benzodiazepine. She knows exactly how much her special little snowflake daughter needs, and she can pull out that pen and paper and that's 100 milligrams, 10 milligrams, 5 micrograms every day, sweetie pie. I'm going to make a woman out of you, just like I always wanted. I'm going to make you the beautiful daughter that my mommy always wanted. We can get rid of that ugly thing down there, my precious daughter. We can undo God's mistakes through the power of mommy science. Sure can. So Naomi, flawless, epic, cow achievement. Naomi wins. And what's really funny is that through the power of billions of dollars of funding, a corrupt, broken scientific foundation, literally billions of dollars of pharmaceuticals, and all this shit that they do to monitor and push and promote and achieve this and allow for it to exist in our society without people being hanged for it in public squares. You get a little itty bitty dimpling. It's kind of cruel almost. You get just enough milk that it feels like it's possible, but not enough to actually feed your child. Not enough that you can actually be a mother. After all the effort and all the drama and all the backing behind it, Naomi will never have what every woman on this planet can do, pretty much every woman on this planet can do effortlessly. White women, it's not even a racial thing. White women, Asian women, Indian women, women in Africa who keep cool by putting mud in their hair are all capable of effortlessly becoming a mother and producing exactly the right composition of minerals and nutrients and fat content and lactose required for a growing baby at every stage of development without any fucking hassle or medication, almost all the time. And when you have the full backing of medical science, you get just a little taste, a little tainted evil to make you think that you might have an opportunity to be just a little bit like what women can do without effort. And that fucking rakes his asshole. Which is to say, chat, in so many words, you will never, ever, 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 ever be a woman. Never. Never. Okay. And that's enough of that. Now we can talk about some fun stuff. Now that I've tormented you, my beautiful chat, we can make fun of some retards on the internet. There's a lot to go over, actually. Some good old-fashioned content. Let's talk about Wooza. Oddly, Wooza is an IP2 streamer. I think he's on. I want to say he's like tangentially involved in America First. Don't quote me on that. He may not be. But Wooza decides that he's going to do some posing with prop guns outside of Columbine for whatever reason.
Shoot. Hello.
And the police are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Good, how are you?
He's a live entertainer.
Man, shut up.
Yeah. Off. Can't be taking pictures.
Okay.
Okay. Need to see both of your IDs?
For what?
Over here. What's that?
For what?
You're trespassing.
We are?
You were?
Well, we're off the property now.
But you were on the property.
Oh, brother. Okay.
Dude,
These are
really?
all-
Are you shitting me?
This is all fake.
Hands up.
This is all fake.
Okay, come on.
Yes, sir.
I don't care if it's fake or what the hell.
No.
Especially this day and age.
We're making
I don't care. Think about.
We're making a
think,
film.
Listen to me.
We're filmmakers.
Think about what you're doing.
Okay.
This day and age, with everything going on, you do this here, you could have gotten shot, man. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Jesus Christ, man. You too. Drop your stuff. Put it right here.
Okay.
Are you shitting me?
What a genuine reaction. Is like the end goal of IP2 streaming just to get arrested? Is that like what the action? It's like a game. It's like you have like, okay, you're gonna be put on Earth. You're gonna be a retard. Your end goal is to be arrested, but you can't do anything like overtly illegal. That people like it is. People can't think that you're trying to be arrested, and it's like that's IP2. It's a little game that aliens are playing where they just send like skinwalkers down. And they have to try to be arrested in public on record, but they can't make people think that they're trying to be arrested. By the way, kind of related, I don't have a tab for this. I'll just recount it offhand. Baked Alaska is going back to jail because if you don't remember, and I can forgive you if you don't, he got 60 days for recording the January 6th riots and putting his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk. And he, at the time, was going through a trial, like an assault charge, because he had maced a bouncer in Nevada. And now that he's out, the judge is saying you have to come back to Nevada and serve jail time here too. And he said, I've already went to jail for January 6th. Can't I just count that as time served? And the judge said, no, you have to come back and you have to serve like 30 days or whatever. So he's going back to jail. Oh, Arizona. You're right. Not Nevada. Which means that he served like, I don't even know how many. He served like 4 different jail sentences at this point, hasn't he? He just keeps getting time. Oh, wrong person. So this is from Impreza. I read this. I talked about Impreza during the Harry Potter stuff because he was like the first to break the Hogwarts DRM, and he put out this huge statement about how men are shit and women are better and trannies are gross or whatever. It's really incomprehensible schizo talk. I am 100% convinced that Impreza is a tranny at this point. So this is a advertisement that he put out on his hacking or like anti-DRM Telegram channel. There is a mini sexting game that will be happening in my community soon. The person who will satisfy my sadistic desires and become my best pegging victim will get to know the name of the next game I will crack exclusively as a reward. Don't worry, just unleash your hidden slutty side for me, and I will take very good care of you. You will get addicted, and I will never stop begging for more destruction. This is going to happen in between each of my releases from now onward. The winner will be instructed to keep silent about the next crack name in order to keep the exclusivity and fun going. Don't miss the chance and join now. So there is no way this is not a tranny. And this, by the way, is the face of his best, most loyalist mod, a Greek dude who is obviously buck broken. Kind of looks like Baked Alaska. Has that weird shaved side head. This dude will turn out. I can tell by looking at him. The vigor and vitality from him is just completely gone. Now, there is some graph, kind of, huh? There is some adjacent drama happening in the America First sector, and I talked about like PPP like very briefly last stream, and this dude gets in my comments, and he's super angry. So how much they paying you, Josh? You're gonna talk shit about PPP going to the hospital because he's so fat, and he still keeps making fun of Pizza Day, even though you've never been to the hospital for being fat. But you're not going to talk about Nick Fuentes and the thing that he said. I'm like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And so I say that, and somebody indicates to me what the fuck he's talking about. And I don't know how I missed this, and I don't know how nobody sent this to me. But here's Nick Fuentes explaining how he's totally not gay. By the way, check out that fucking hairline as he says this.
I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with, and it's like, hey, properly aged, like wine. Women don't age like wine, they age like milk. So here I am, like, hey, listen, guys, you turn 21, you find yourself a 16-year-old bride. You go crazy. You go crazy. No condoms, no snips, no abortions, no pills, no none of that. That's the most pro-sex position there is. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that. And yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife. Probably when I turn 30 or something. Because here's the thing. I don't want to be like, let's say I get married to a 18-year-old now. 6-year age difference. When I turn 40, she's going to be 34. Ew. What if I'm 30 and she's 16? 14-year age difference. When I'm 50, she'll be 36. When I'm 40... she'll be 26. Then now we're talking here. Now we're cooking with gas. Now you can see an alternative vision for how things could be. If only you knew how different things could be. You wouldn't have to settle for these women who are all busted up and you got to settle, and they're like, they have a tattoo and they're like, yeah, this is how I am. You just can't handle all this. And you're like, believe me, I can handle it. Not in the way you think. You have to deal with my tattoo. You have to deal with my long-term ex-boyfriend. It's like that girl Daisy or whatever. Daisy and Tack Nuke. I want a 16-year-old that's untouched, pristine, untouched, uncorrupted, innocent. That's what we all want. And all 16-year-olds want an older guy who's like capable and strong and everything to sweep them off their feet. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants. So
I really got to know. Because, like, okay, when I talk to women, it used to be, I said this before, but now it's changed. I said I can't even, like, relate to women under 21. Like, people in general under 21, you're just like a little retard. I have nothing in common with you at that age. Now it's like, I can't imagine trying to talk to somebody under 24. Like, I'm 30. How are you, even at 30, how are you going to talk to a 16-year-old and, like, be around her in general, boy or girl? If you have to, like, take care of your niece or nephew who's 16, how are you going to tolerate the fuck out of that? Like, it would be so draining. You have literally nothing in common with them. And unless you're like unless you're a complete and total psychopath and you don't form human relations, that would just be the most grating thing ever. And like, the only thing you care about is having like a prodigy, like as many children as humanly possible. Then you're just like a cult leader. You're just like a pedophile cult leader trying to make as many kids as possible. Here's what I want to know, right? He says, I want to be like 50 when I get my 16-year-old girlfriend, wife rather. He doesn't date. He just wants a 16-year-old. How are you going to do that? I want somebody in chat. I saw one guy named James saying that that's base and correct. You tell me, I'm 30 years old. What do I do to get married to a 16-year-old? What stratagem am I employing? Am I buying one from from Ukraine? Am I becoming Mormon and just like trading from the family? Am I going on Discord? James, I saw your message. Now is your time. Explain to me what you would do at 30 years old to get a 16-year-old wife. What's your plan, bro? Discord and candy van? Like literally, what could you possibly do that would not get you arrested? And Nick Fuentes, here's what he's doing. You ready? He's saying like, this is just him saying, I don't want to date. I don't want to get married. I have a totally true and based reason for not getting married. I'm going to get married when I'm 50 so that I can have tons of hot sex with a woman that's going to stay way young forever. But in reality, she was like, no, trust me, give me another 24 years and then I'll get around to getting married. I noticed that James, who said that this was based, by the way, has not replied. I'm James, tell me, how am I going to get married to a 16-year-old when I'm 50 and not be creepy about it? What's the correct way of doing this? Is the government, are we going to be living under the Nick Fuentes totalitarian fascist government where all 16-year-olds become property of the state and are dispensed to the most loyal neo-Nazis in the government apparatus? What's the plan? I think James is going to let us down. I can't believe this. He was the first. He came out swinging, said based, and now nothing. Oh, wow. Well, guess we'll just have to move on. Actually, let me see. No, I'll save that. That's in the right place. So Dick was banned off YouTube, and he's announced on the cusp of this, by the way, Dick announced that he's moving to Cozy. He wants to hang out with Nick Fuentes these days. Strange timing. And also to a man with principle, a man I used to respect, a man who decided at some point randomly to start sucking a pedophile's dick, and now is also going to just hang out on Cozy with Nick Fuentes, marry a 16-year-old at 50 years old. Nick Fuentes. Godwinson is joining Cozy. At this point, I think hating the Kiwi Farms is more of a unifying facet of America First than marrying 16-year-olds or saving the white race. I think that if you just hate the Kiwi Farms, that's the entire platform. Nick Fuentes is going to run on that. He's going to run, elect me to whatever, to Congress. I'm going to ban the Kiwi Farms. And people ask, how's that saving the white race? The white race? That's not what we're about. We got to ban the Kiwi Farms. Very fascinating. I can't wait to see what amazing content they intend to put out on Cozy. Meanwhile, Ricada, master of Rumble, got drunk again and went on this tangent. And I'll just play this.
I have a dedicated room for all of my toys.
That's a fake room, Jessica.
Shut the fuck up, Nick. No, it's not.
I am trying to hire a fucking contractor to build a literal sex room, and they keep ghosting me when they find out what I'm trying to build.
Fucking liberal.
Are you still having issues with your contractors? Did you get the
Yes!
drafting done?
No!
That was like 6 months ago. What the fuck?
These kids keep ghosting me.
A sex dungeon?
Yes!
Well, to be fair, initially it was supposed to be in your studio. Now it's up to a sex dungeon, but still.
No, it's 2 music studios.
Jessica has decided that she is done with this conversation and has unscreened herself.
One for my recording, one for my kids' music. It's a sex dungeon, and it's expansion to my kids' bedrooms. I'm like, build this. And they're like, oh, okay, I'll draw it. And then when I'm like, draw this thing. I don't even tell them. Like, I haven't told them it's sex dungeon. They're like, they just ghost me. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's COVID.
I think
Not anymore, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fucking... One of them called me from a mental institution, was like, hey, can you legally represent me? I was like, no.
One of your contractors?
Yeah, no.
Yes, Lofty.
Oh
One of my contractors like, hey, I'm in a mental institution. And I'm like, I let you to my house to draw a map, to draw shit.
I'll build your dungeon.
You know
if
the
you're
layout of
fucking
my
it.
house. You know the security issues.
Can you help me? No, you gotta call somebody else.
Hey, I'll build your dungeon if you put me in it.
This is the fucking weird shit that you deal with as a streamer. Like, I just want you to build an extension to my goddamn house. That's all I want in my life. They won't do it. And it's expansion to my kids' bedrooms. Dungeon. It's a sex dungeon. And it's expansion to my kids' bedrooms. It's a sex dungeon. And it's expansion to my kids' bedrooms.
I'm going to assume in good faith he's trying to contract 2 separate projects. He's not trying to expand his sex dungeon into his kids' bedrooms. He's trying to have an expansion to his kids' bedrooms and also a sex dungeon. I will assume in good faith. That makes the most sense to me. But that is very unfortunate alcohol slur going on there. I mean... with this, I just don't want to hear about it. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to hear about every single thing that Nick Ricada has ever said because I have appeared on his stream multiple times and people want me to talk about it. So anytime Nick Ricada talks about his weird sexcapades, I'm going to be forced to hear it from now on forever. And I'm not appreciative of that at all. It kind of feels like it's kind of like in line with like the iDubbbz thing, where I feel like iDubbbz has assumed that like his audience isn't the cool audience anymore. Like the edgy boy audience is not the cool boy audience. The cool boy audience are the broccoli boy audiences. And he wishes that he had more of that LA, woke broccoli boy audience because that's what makes the money. That's what's popular. And he kind of resents having to have that woke audience. Or sorry, the edgy audience. So over time, he's kind of like pivoted to try and get away from his edgy boy audience into his cool broccoli boy audience, and it doesn't work. And there's like whiplash, and people resent somebody who changes like that and try because I think that Nick Ricada has kind of had like this similar thing where he started out with like this wholesome Big Chungus like internet dad persona where it's like, oh, he's a respectable father of 8 million children, and he has a long-term relationship, been married for 16 years, and he's good with Jesus. And it's like, wow, how wholesome. And he's also kind of quirky. He likes anime, he likes Warhammer. So it's sort of like, wow, it's like a dad, but he's like fun to listen to because, you know, he likes the same things that I do. And that was like his persona. And now he's just like, I wish I had like a cool Howard Stern adult audience that like had weird sex parties. And instead of just not doing that and recognizing that your audience is one thing and not this other thing that you would prefer, and just doing that shit privately, he's decided to try and, at least from my perspective, again, I guess I don't have any context. I never know what I'm talking about from what I've been told. It just feels like he's like, I'm going to be the sexy podcast, YouTube lawyer podcaster now. And my audience that liked me for the Jesus stuff and for the wholesome Big Chungus 100 stuff, too bad. And now all those people are like, ooh, I'm kind of angry that you've like thrown us away and told us that you don't like us anymore and don't want us to watch you anymore. And you keep telling people who think that, who wanted to look up to you, like, go fuck yourself. And those people are really angry at him, which is why I now have to hear about this every time he opens his fucking mouth forever for the rest of my fucking life. Hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. Yeah, emo. By the way, I age-15 myself today. Oh, I hope not. Okay. But I first heard of this person when I was actually in Ukraine. They're a Ukrainian Jew called Talia, also known as Chicken Kiev or Kiev, depending on your whatever the fuck, or Kiev if you're Polish, whatever you prefer. Chicken K City, and Chicken the city that's on the Dnieper River. Says, wait, not on the Dnieper, whatever. I don't care anymore. Keep your social distance or I'll fucking stab you, and wash your hands and don't be racist. This person is back, or sorry, this is like their most famous tweet. They left Twitter. Their other term was Sword Jew. She was training to fight that one guy that says the Jew fears the samurai. I don't know if they ever fought with swords, though. They left Twitter in November, and they've recently come back begging for followers on Twitter because, as it turns out, when they say, well, goodbye to my primary professional outlet, I guess, thanks for nothing, rich, cruel idiot, referring to Elon Musk. It turns out nobody wanted to follow this person to whatever bullshit platform that they had moved to, and they were starting to hurt for money. And I don't know what it is, but I'm taking a good look at Ms. Talia Lavin or Levine. I'm not sure which is correct. I'm pretty sure that money is important to her. I just get that vibe. So rich, cruel idiot wins again. And she has returned to the platform to beg for followers. She actually had one of her accounts suspended because when Elon had first started like that blue checkmark policy, she changed her name to J.K. Rowling and said a bunch of retarded shit on Twitter. So she got banned from it. But she's come crawling back, as they all do. Now, we're on segment 4 of, I guess, just 6. Yeah. No, 5 of 6. Okay. This one will also be... sorry, my trying to like fix my chair so that I could lean back into it, and it popped out of the bolt. Okay, now I can lean back into it. Okay. So a while back, I put on stream a post that looked just like this, and it said, "Breaking gun news alert! As I am writing this, I have received an urgent email from Christorian X telling me Post was hacked. How could this be? Post was supposed to have the best security." In March I talked about how chudbuds.lol hosted by Claire Bear had been hacked and all the private messages of the users had been leaked. Well, you're not experiencing deja vu. The exact same thing has happened yet again. This time targeting, I think, one of the biggest platforms on the Fediverse, Post, which I have talked about in the past because the owner does not like me anymore. At least anymore. I used to be on friendly terms with them, but such is life. So, before I talk about the actual contents of the hack, at least what's been found out, it's pretty big. I will gloat just a little bit. I can only gloat so much, and I'll explain why. But I put out a message saying, reminder that chat messages on the Fedi are totally unencrypted and can be read by both instance admins on both sides and any bad actors that access the instance. They do not appear to expire. Never send confidential information by Fediverse DM. Some people did not take that to heart. There are now a bunch of dick pictures and pictures of hairbrushes that people were sticking up their ass and other embarrassing things coming out of the post DMs. Graf also took issue with the fact that I said this and raised other concerns about his policies. Graf complained that Proton is on the record complying with the feds, you absolute brainlet mongoloid. Now, I use Proton. I mentioned this before, but I'll reiterate. I use Proton, so I consider this a pretty heavy accusation, and I looked into the details of what exactly Proton was forced to divulge and what, if any, court tested is the highest caliber of testing when it comes to shit like VPNs, what information they could divulge. And Proton's always been very straightforward. They can read the titles of your emails, but they cannot read at least in rest, the contents of your emails because they are encrypted at rest. Swiss law does not allow email providers to keep a no log policy. It's something like 6 months of logging. So if you access your email and you're using your domestic IP, your IP will be logged as per Swiss law. And when France requested from Switzerland using a court order IP records, they were able to provide those IPs. However, Swiss law does not require logging on VPNs. Proton provides a VPN. So if you have the package that gives you Proton Mail and Proton VPN, you can use Proton VPN to access Proton Mail, and then they don't have a log because of the technicality and the distinction between service. So when this was pointed out to me, and I simply said, this guy was wanted by the police, he should have been more careful with how he was accessing his email. I said, that being my point, I asked Graf because they complied with the local court order. Proton VPN is also free. That's true. Okay, I'll look at the logo in a second. I said they were complied with a court order. They were transparent about it, and they were forthcoming with how transparent that of what information they provided and why. What more could you ask for? That's a detailed guide on how to, and they proved that their content is encrypted, which is what they sell their email service on. So I asked him, if the feds ask you for information about a user, i.e. chat messages, which are plain text, are you going to just start shooting them or what? My challenge being, if he operates in 2 jurisdictions, he has an American presence where all his shit is, and then he's also Canadian. So if the Canadian police or the U.S. federal government ask him for information using a court order, what's his plan? If Proton is complying with the feds, what is not complying with the feds? Are you just going to Waco it? You're going to pull out your MG40 and start blast? So there I was, and the feds came up to subpoena me, and I said, subpoena this, you glow-in-the-dark sumbitch. They call it Hitler Zipper. Learn it, boy. Like, what are you going to do? And his response to this was, if you have concerns with how I handle user data, I suggest you get the fuck off my website. What does that mean? Are you going to explain to me your I would love to know your non-compliance policies so I can implement similar non-compliance policies on my website. I get a lot of grand jury subpoenas over the dumb shit people say. I'm just asking for this kind of transparency and straightforwardness that Proton displayed, which is apparently not good enough. And his response is, fuck you. So, I can't bully him too much for getting hacked, because what happened is the same thing that happened to the Kiwi Farms last time, is that an exploit with the content security policy allowed a remote cross-site scripting attack. That's what happened. But I will read his statement. He says, "Hey friends, on May 19th, 2023, so 7 days ago, he didn't notice it. An unknown user registered the domain name feddirelay.xyz and set up a fake Moster relay to listen to requests on the Fediverse. On May 20th, a user uploaded the attached document to post. It was originally an obfuscated JavaScript file. When this JavaScript file does... What the JavaScript file does is take the viewer's OAuth token, encode it, and make it look like the Nostr pub key, and then force the clandestine Nostr relay to look up the user locally given that server encoded token, all while appearing to be a legitimate Nostr bridge. I have taken steps to completely limit access to the admin API and corrected any CSP or other issues that could possibly have contributed to this. However, most of you are still vulnerable to it. And Pleroma in general is vulnerable to it. It does not have content security policies that would prevent this. In order to prevent this, you should do this. And if you are an instance owner, the obfuscated file hash is this. Sorry to anyone I let down, but I can never have foreseen this level of... Then I assume he says it's not my fault. So now, here are some DMs to read. 9 asks me, "Hey, can I get an invite code to the Kiwi Farms?" Or to the Kike Farms, he says. I reply saying, "Kike Farms, I only invite true and honest lovers of Israel." 9 replies saying, "Okay, sorry, I love Israel, sir. Shalom. Give me my account, retard. Also, fix Kiwi Farms Matrix. It's been known for months. Please, Josh, you banned me by accident. Unban, please." I never gave this guy an account invite. I know who he is. He's a spurg. This is a DM between two gay people. Ocean Redux, whose name is familiar to me, says, "If I flash my shit, I'll never live it down." His shit, of course, being his pee-pee in his butthole. He says, "OMFG." Machiavelli I13 says, "Haha, well, come to Montreal. Won't need to. Haha." Doing his best groomer impression. Ocean Redux says, "Lol, I can flash my shit, but I don't know." Machiavelli says, "Making me hard. Haha." And Ocean Redux says, "LOL, you can fuck off." I think there was more flirting. This is between Graph and Medicare Fimbot. Shout out to Medicare Fimbot, who's probably watching this. I've always assumed, by the way, Medicare Fimbot was a tranny, because if you ever, I've been shown messages of Medicare Fimbot talking about having like 3 different boyfriends or something. It's like a weird thing, and it genuinely sounds like a schizophrenic with multiple personalities that was pretty hard to untangle. However, after reading this, I am pretty sure that Medicare Fimbot is actually a woman, and I'll explain why as I read it. M, by the way, M is Medicare Fimbot. M says, "Well, it's very pretty." Graph says, "You are." M says, "Thank you," a smiley face. Wait, is this in the wrong order? Let's see, 5:24. It's 16 minutes 3. 4. Oh, no, okay, so this is on the wrong order. M says, "So I've had 4 rabies shots in the past week, and I just caught another bat like a few hours ago. So I mastered 2 fears. I've earned star." Graph says, "Why 4? M says, "Rabies is 8 shots or so. I have a few more to get." Graph says, "Hot. Come give me rabies." M says, "Weird to think these little endangered cuties could kill me and my animals." And M says, "Lol, I didn't even know what it was until I called and asked how to remove bats." If you don't know, chat, this woman is not interested in him at all. Just in case you're not following, when a guy says, "Hey, you're pretty, we should hook up or something," and a woman says, "I have rabies," she is not looking for, "Haha, I would love to have rabies too. Haha." She's hoping that you'll be like, "Oh, ew, gross. I don't want to fuck you then because you have rabies." That's the meta conversation that's happening while I read this. It goes on though, of course. Graf says, gimme. So after not being reciprocated his first time by saying, give me rabies, he insists, like, hey, stop changing the subject to me not getting in your pants and getting rabies in the process. He says, gimme, to redirect conversation, forcing Fembot to sharply shoot him down and say, no, death, sorry. Graf says, I meant you. And he says, oh, in that case, you may have. Oh, I'm wrong. She knows. This is an orbiter. This is a powerful orbiter too. He controls posts. I gotta keep him in the orbit. Gotta keep him going. Yeah, maybe I'll give you rabies, boy. Orbit me. Graf says, what are you doing? Please come over. Later on, M says, well, my rabies shot is on June 1st. My last rabies shot is on June 1st. I gotta be here till then because there's very few. Because they are every few days. Graf says, I can't get rabies. That's fucking gay. M says, I don't think I could give it to you anyway. Silly. You have to get bit by a rabid animal or something. Graf says, you mean rabid? You can try passing on other bodily fluids if you like. Haha. And says, you can blame voice to text for that one. Oh, question mark, LOL. Graf says, yes, thank you. M says, naughty, LOL. Sorry, I will shush. And that's the Graf M exchange. Oh, this is what I was thinking of. This is a different conversation from Sims with Meniker Fembot. Wait, no. I'm getting this wrong. This is with a different woman, I think. Who is Guts? I thought that the conversation was with Meniker Fembot where this got posted. Oh, no, this... I'm wrong. Let me make sure I'm getting this right because it's very important to what I was saying about Meniker Fembot not being a woman. Post Guts. Is Guts Meniker Fembot? Oh, I'm logged out. Am I banned now? Graf might have banned me midstream, so now I don't get to check posts. No, wait, I'm not banned. Okay. Just got logged out again. Who is Guts? Not found. The account is gone. Okay. Who is M then? That's also gone. Okay. Chat. Does anyone know if Guts or M is Meniker? Is Meniker Fembot in the chat? Can you fucking clarify which of these accounts are? Guts is supposedly Meniker Fembot's husband. Ah! Thanks. What a Chad. Guts and Fembot are the same guy. Okay. I'm correct then. This is Fembot. That was some other lady that Graf wanted to fuck. Graf says, hi, Predator face. Guts says, hi. Graf says, hi, what are you doing? Guts says, Mars is strolling post. Graf says, proud of you, friend. Graf says, hey, currently pooping while on post from Meniker Fembot. Graf says, nice. Graf says, are you one of those weird people that takes off their clothes to poop? Or to shit, rather. I like to say to poop. Guts or Fembot says, no, but I do use flushable wipes instead of TP when I poop. That's bad for the environment. Graf says, I bought your old Twitter account, and then he links to the Twitter and password with the period. Graf says, if Twitter asks you for the email to use, it's aldolfo2012xylo@hotmail.com. Graf says, miss you, I'm okay, but tell me what's going on, please. Fembot says, did you get drunk for Cinco de Mayo? Graf says, no, I got drunk the day after, but I can't drink much anymore. I think I'm going to die. My GGT level, a chemical that liver releases, are more than double the high reading. So I cut back a lot, and I'm going to another blood test in a week, in a bit. So if you don't know, Graf is like a chronic alcoholic, and I think he takes like fucky brain meds too. That's why he's always so crazy. Fembot says, well, I had a massive uncontrollable mental breakdown. That's all. When you're talking to a girl and you say, hey, what's up? How you doing? And she says, I just came off a massive uncontrollable mental breakdown. That's a great sign. That's how you know that woman is there for you. And she has the qualities that you need to progress your life in a productive manner. That is the greenest flag in the world. Well, I had a massive uncontrollable mental breakdown in the middle of lunch break on Tuesday. I don't know what happened. I ended up driving to a random apartment complex place and had what I assume was a panic attack and depressive spiral. And then I realized that 2 hours passed, and I drove to a hospital and told them I was suicidal and had a psychiatric place and had a psychiatric place and was very, very boring. They took 4 vials of my blood. The nurse made me strip down in front of her, and she said to feel inside my bra and underwear for sharp things and weapons, LOL. And then I got a gown and socks and pants, and I laid in bed for like 6 hours. Graf says, that end sounds kind of cozy. I'm glad you are okay, but maybe this has something to do with wanting to make babies and your BF not wanting. So Graf went from, hey, give me rabies, let me get in those Medicare Fembot pantalones, to let me be a counsel for you and your boyfriend. I will explain what this is in a second also. Fembot says, they woke me up a couple times for testing and blood drawing, and also I had a very not private psychiatric session with a doctor on a tablet, and it was not cozy because there were 5 people to a room, and I was in there with old women, a legit crackhead, a morbidly obese guy who kept calling me beautiful, and some other guy who seemed pretty normal, LL. But the doctors all said I was cool. I think that Fembot lives in the Philippines. She's like half Chinese, half Filipino, so she's like in a really shitty... If she's in the Philippines, she's in a really shitty place. Graf says, I'm glad you made friends with the crackhead and the normal guy. She says, no, he does not want kids. We just both didn't want them yet because we're not financially ready. But he's getting his pilot's license soon, and he said he wouldn't mind if I got pregnant now. We had an accident a few weeks ago, and he wanted to get me on Plan B. And I was like, you can buy it if you want me to take it. And then he decided he did not want to because he said if I was pregnant, it wouldn't be a bad thing, so we didn't buy it, LOL. They're not in the Philippines because Plan B is not legal there. Graf says, wonder what it's like being fat and crazy. Reading this from this perspective makes it sound like he's talking about Fembot, but I think he's trying to shit on her boyfriend. Oh, hint, hint. Fembot says, I told him the lip injection thing made me upset before, and he said, it's just a fetish. I was just dirty talking. But it's an anime, man. That's so different. They're not real. And this is why I think that she's actually a real woman for the first time. Graf says, don't feel stupid. I don't understand any injection shit. Fembot says, I don't even watch porn anymore or less after dudes. You could show me a giant dick on the hottest man alive and I'd feel nothing because it's not him. I just want someone to love me that much too. So that's very feminine. Even trannies don't feel that way. They don't just stop watching porn like, oh, I'm in a relationship now. I'm not attracted to other men. That's a woman thing. Men don't do that. Graf says, giant dick is stupid, just like giant tit. It's just a giant waste. Fembot says, his defense is that why do I feel gross if he tells me I'm sexy all the time and says he loves me every day? But the good stuff doesn't offset the things that upset me. He says, why is it that I always do something wrong? How have I ever came to you and told you that you're making me feel gross? No. And I wanted to say because I don't do things that make him feel gross, but I just didn't because there's no point. Graf says, I want someone to love me that much too. That's all I ever want. I understand why he feels that way, but there's really nothing of value to earn from following porn stars because it's not like they're smart or funny or anything or fucking real. Fembot says, yeah, he said, Jesus Christ, it's not like I'm in a relationship with them or know them in real life, but that's not the point. He said, fine, I'll stop following them, but now he won't reply to me and all I want is a hug. I just feel like I'm being prioritized second to fucking porn and he thinks it's stupid. Graf says, I know what you mean. It feels like that shit because you feel like you're being compared to them. You're not crazy. Fembot says, I just want a hug. I want to not have to sit here and comfort myself, man. I didn't have anyone to do it for me my whole childhood and I still have no one just to console me. She says, yeah, even I said that. He just scoffed and said, well, sorry you think you need a giant tits just because I follow some accounts. Or that you need giant tits just because I follow some accounts. I said, you're making me feel stupid. Please just think about how I feel. He said, how about what I feel? And I just didn't respond. Graf says, you're perfect the way you are. I promise you that. Don't forget you can call and cry at me anytime you need, night or day. Now, I don't have a word for this, but there is a kind of orbiting of betaness where a guy who is a simp for a woman in a relationship, when he wants to break up that relationship, will get in there and be like the shoulder to cry on and then say things like, yeah, he's fat and crazy, to try and neg him, and then empathize and be like, because then if they break up, If he's the successfully drifts them apart, instant rebound. That's the plan. I'm the instant rebound if I break up that relationship. I don't have a word for this, but that's what he's doing. It's manipulative and predatory, and women know this. And even when they break up, they don't go with the guy they cried on. They find another guy. They'll just say, I'm not ready. I just broke up. I'm not in a relation. I'm not ready for a relationship right now. And then they'll cold shoulder graph. And then she'll get in another relationship with Chad Thundercock. And then he's not necessary anymore. And he'll be super pissed off about it. And he'll hate her and be shitty towards her. I'm just saying. I know. I've seen this before. I grew up on the internet. The term is Jody. No, it's not a homewrecker. A homewrecker is a woman that gets with a guy and fucks up a relationship. This is not. This is like this is the other way around. First of all, it's a woman talking to a different guy, but it's strictly a friendship, and the man is trying to use his like armchair psychologist position to convince her to break up with her boyfriend so that he can be there as the rebound. Someone's saying that it's a Jody. I've never heard this term though. It's a Jody Ares. The nice guy. Yeah, the nice guy. There's a comic actually. Oh God, I have to find this. Okay, chat, you have to, someone must know what I'm talking about. There's an XKCD comic about settling, and it's about this exact thing. Does anyone know the name of this comic? It's an XK. It's a really good XKCD, and it really sums up this entire thing. And it's going to drive me fucking crazy unless I can think of it. We'll call it doing a graph. Fuck. I'll never find this because there's so many XKCD comics that there's just no chance in hell I'll ever be able to find the specific one. It is strip 376. Okay. It is not strip 376. You fucking lied. Okay, so I'll take two more suggestions. 1768 XKCD. No, that's wrong. You just Googled settling. It's a 220. Wait, how much time can I possibly waste? It's years and years old though, is the thing. 224 is not it. Oh, let's just move on. Okay, I guess I have to. Is it strip 1488? No, I don't think so. It's has a good search function. Okay, fine. Where's the search function? No, it's just a comic, and the point of it is that how you're always there for me, but I don't love you, and then one day maybe I'll settle for you, and it'll feel kind of natural, and I'll make myself get used to it, and maybe it'll feel right, but I'll always feel like I'm missing out because I never actually cared about you. And that's like the best that the Jody can hope for. That's like the most ideal situation. It's like the most depressing shit ever. But I know exactly what it is. Anyways. Ask ChatGPT. Okay, fuck it, I will. Let's drag this out 1 second longer. And see if XKCD possibly knows. Or the ChatGPT. Which XKCD comic was about settling for a relationship didn't feel strongly about? Okay, AI, prove your worth to me. No, it suggested settling. It's a very old one. Nope. XKCD doesn't know. Says there's over 2,000 of them. We've been completely felted yet again, chat. Okay, everyone's spamming me with 513. Let's check this. Last one. Yes. Is this it? Yes. It's called Friends. 513 is it. Oh my God. What a heroic effort by my lovely chat. Saving the day. Here you go, Graph. This is what you're looking forward to. Guy says, I have a crush on you. I could ask you out and move on with my life if you said no, or we could be friends. See, I don't want to consider that you might not be attracted to me. I'm scared of rejection, so I've decided relationships should grow smoothly out of friendships. When you have problems, I'll be there for you night after night, selflessly. I'll tear down the jerks you date and wait for you to realize how good I am for you, that only I will ever understand you. You won't want to hurt my feelings, and I won't ever force the issue. I'll tell myself it's because I value our friendship. Bit by bit, I'll make you depend on me. You'll think about how long it would take to build this kind of connection again, and in a moment of weakness and loneliness, you'll give in. It'll feel comfortable and natural. You'll quietly revise your definition of love and try to be happy, and sometimes you will. Only the wistfulness in your gaze and the tiny pause before you say I love you will hint that this wasn't the ending you hoped for. Sound good? And then she says, I'm going to date this jerk, but he doesn't respect you. And this is it. 513 XKCD, titled Friends. Something that I saw a long time ago, and I remembered. And one more thing. There was an incident that I talked about, or one of the admins, I believe this was one of the admins, don't quote me on this, I don't fucking remember exactly, but I think Lude the Wides was one of the old admins for Post, and he runs an instance that's dedicated to Lolicon. I made a post saying something about how people from the forum shouldn't give Graf trouble or whatever, because he was complaining about that, and then he says, quote, not actually quote, I don't know who he's quoting, but he's using the quote incorrectly here to say, I'm going to do absolutely nothing different to stand up for the person who showed me hospitality, but here's some finger wagging to make it look like I care. You know what, Josh? Go fuck yourself. You and your community are not worth defending. To which I reply, kill yourself, pedophile. And this caused an issue. Graf has never forgiven me for chasing this guy off his instance. But Lude the Wides is talking to Satan. Satan is, he was an admin for Baphomet on 8chan, and he was active in the 8chan IRC, and I want to say that he is the current administrator of Breach Forums. Don't quote me on that. I think he took over Breach Forums. But Lude the Wides is talking to him, and he says, if you want to know why I don't have many principles, is I just want to be there for my family and kill myself if I can't. Already tried 3 times this life. I'm just tired of all the shit you can't control. I'm sorry. To which Satan replies, sounds like some faggot shit to me. Lude the Wide says, when you don't have much to live for anymore, you just go to where people give you some kind of compassion. Satan says, try growing some balls instead. Maybe this conversation is over, but I'm not going to be guilt-tripped by a hot-pocketing faggot. Lude the Wide says, shit, I had just come back to this just to say I was really fucking gay yesterday. I apologize for my gayness. Lude the Wide says, I just wanted to ask, talking to Halo from Varish Hangout, but are you going to be the kind of instance that will tolerate the extreme stuff? Like ToddlerCon and the realistic 3D Lolicon? Halo says, no, I'm not a fan of the majority 3D shit. Way too uncanny valley for me. Wow. I actually didn't pick up on that first time I read through this. Lude the Wise asks, gotta watch for your users in this time, especially if you go against the grain of mainstream culture. Halo says, indeed, indeed. Well, the main priority is being a pedophile. Not much else, really. Occasionally shit-talking a post, maybe. Ilya Smug. Lude the Wise says, that's fine. We have a new ironic Nazi glowies that could use some pedophile therapy. Halo says, we had that one guy, Akakia, acts like a 14-year-old who discovered Pole, annoyed the shit out of me in the mods, so we banned him after he made a few death threats. Not even pedophilia could calm him down. Lude the Wide says, for shame. And this is, again, him talking to Halo saying, hey, anyone organizing a lolly raid when Frank's Speech opens up? Halo says, no, what is that? And then he links to a website called Frank's Speech, and he says, media bot check, good sign. What the fuck is this? And Lude the Wide says, don't know why it's like that right now, but I suppose it's a boomer social media outlet by that fucking MyPillow guy. So the MyPillow guy wanted to get on the Fediverse and support, counterculture alternatives, federated alternatives, and Lewd the Wise decides, I'm going to spam this guy with animated child pornography and chase him off. Great. I wonder why we can't establish any alt tech. Could it be that there are pedophiles out there who we haven't hanged, that our government is just letting walk around and not dangle slow, not like with a nice drop and crack. I'm talking about dangling slowly so that we can record it and post it on YouTube. Is it maybe if we the problem with people like this is that they fuck up everything for everybody else. We have all these freedoms, but then pedophiles who are objectively evil that everyone hates, everyone sees as a problem, come along and say, well, I'm going to fuck this up for all of you. And we could have all of our freedoms if they just died. If they were not alive anymore, we could be able to have Tor and anonymous image boards and federated social media, no problem, without any kind of centralizing and anti-spam, if we could just fucking get rid of them. And this guy doesn't like me, by the way, which I don't consider an issue. And these are, I think, I want to say he was an admin. I'm going to ask Crunkler real quick. Crunk, was Lewd the Wise a admin for posts? This is very urgent. Okay. He's responded. He's contemplating. He says, I believe so. I take that as yes. So there you go. Or a Janny, he says. He clarifies he may also have just been a Janny. But I remember there was some drama where Lewd the Wise was chased off a post because of Kiwi Farms. Sorry, Drama Neighbors, who Graf despises now. But that was my fault, and he got very angry at me for that. Meanwhile, he's talking about spamming the fucking MyPillow guy with Lolicon just to be a cunt. Oh my god. Did I read all of this? Oh no, I just hit it. Okay, like, did I read all of this without showing any of it on screen? Okay, no, I thought I hadn't showed any of it on screen. I had like a panic attack. Okay, wonderful. All right, and now back into the comfy zone. We're leaving the pedo zone, going to comfiness. That comfiness. Oh, and Crunkler clarifies, I know he was friendly with Graf since the very beginning. He's an OG post user. Okay, comfy zone, comfy zone. Ethan Ralph. What's he up to this week? No pedo shit, I hope. Okay. We're all comfy. We're all comfy. Ethan Ralph had his big W because the post got hacked and he doesn't like Graf, and Graf was whining about suing him at some point. But he and Ezo Shaggy got suspended from Twitter because they posted compromised materials from the post server, which you can't do on Twitter. It's not a YouTube rule, by the way. It's just a Twitter rule. So they got suspended. He had a very adventurous weekend. He managed to wrangle up 22 Autists to his Kingpin bowling tournament. Summed up by VHS Archive as so: 22 people in attendance, 4 of 10 guests, which I'll explain in a second. There was bowling. He rented 2 lanes for bowling instead of the entire bowling alley like he did last time, because then the people showed up. One time I had my friend had a birthday party when I was living in Sandestin still, and there was the Hurricane Lanes of Destin, and we rented 2 bowling lanes, and we had a bunch of people from work and all their girlfriends, and we had a nice time bowling and drinking and eating cake. And so technically I've thrown a Kingpin bowling tournament at least as big as Ethan Ralph. There was no winning team. There was no trophy awarded this time. Unfortunately, Ethan Ralph did not award himself a giant plastic trophy he bought off Amazon to declare himself the winner for whatever reason. There was karaoke. There was a hooker, and it was a complete disaster. So the Ethan Ralph, host of the kill stream, did show up, which is very fortunate for him, I guess. Beardson Beardley also showed up. Christian rapper Bryson Gray did not show up for the live performance that was advertised. Harrison Smith, host of the American Journal on InfoWars, did not show up. Lulz, in real life legend and cozy.tv streamer, did not show up. Wooza did show up. Mike Cisco, Killstream co-host and Sunset Wrestling he got ghosted by his own co-host. Paul Escanon, I don't know who the fuck that is. Cancel proof on Cozy and director of the most canceled man in America. Yeah, I'm sure that Paul, maybe that's Nick Fuentes. I don't know. He didn't show up. Ali Jamal, retarded man, did show up and he almost got his ass kicked by people wearing balaclavas because at his own birthday, by the way, the Kingpin Invitational was literally just Ali Jamal's birthday party. And he almost got his ass kicked by Cozy America First people and wearing balaclavas because they confused him with Ali Akbar, the pedophile. They didn't know that there were actually two brown people named Ali in America First. One of them molesting boys, one of them autistic and being taken advantage of by Ethan Ralph for his wealth, his familial generational wealth. Chagat, macing victim at Kingpin 1 and world autism expert, also known for saying that he fucked a 13-year-old when he was 18. He didn't show up. He got ghosted by Chagat. And then said he will be double maced at Kingpin 2. That did not happen. That was false advertising. So this is the horror that was hired to attend the Killstream 2. And you can tell that he really had to go for like bottom of the barrel, like opium horror, picked up off the street for basically no money, just to kind of like say, oh, look, we have, this isn't a sausage party, boys. This is, wait a second. Oh, this is Aniza. Sorry. This is the horror. Sorry, this is the horror that was picked up for the Kingpin 2. Sorry. My mistake. So they just needed to have like a woman there to say it's not like a sausage party. It's just, we have a prostitute as well. Good on him for supporting sex work. This is the face of a true friend. This person was awkward all night, treated basically like Gator was the first Kingpin. And this is the face of Ezo Shaggy. He had managed to stay not doxxed for, I don't think he's properly doxxed. Somebody like beat him up because his passport photo or whatever. But his face, his glorious visage was denied to us for so long until he decided to show up to the Kingpin and be obviously outed. People figured out it was him by comparing when he was active on Twitter versus when this guy was present, not on his phone, on the Kingpin, and they're pretty certain it's him. And after this picture came out and people identified that it was Ezo Shaggy, he like disappeared for a while. Like he locked down his Twitter account and just didn't tweet. Now he's back being an obnoxious faggot again because this guy, you can tell by looking at him that he has nothing in his life. This was somebody else who attended. This is the caliber person who attended Ethan Ralph's Kingpin. And by looking at them, I kind of thought like, wow, there's a phenotype for like people who like Ethan Ralph. And it's the kind of person who looks like Steven McDaniels, that really creepy guy from the Jim Can't Swim video where he chopped up a woman into like 6 pieces and dumped them in the dumpster. So if you look like Steven McDaniel, there's a place for you at the next Kingpin Invitational. Now, of course, after the party, you got the after party. And we got some true-blooded American patriots, white boy summer coming in again, and they're out causing some mischief out on the streets. Let's take a look at some mischief.
You guys like me? Who's the young
Nobody
girl?
likes you.
Nobody likes you.
Stop being fucking mean.
Ow! No, it's my stream. It's my stream. Ah, you're burning a cigarette. It's my stream. It's my stream. It's my stream, chat. I stole Worsel's phone. It's my stream. I'm running. I'm running outside. I'm running outside. He's trying to catch me. Oh no! Oh no! No! He's too fat. He's too fat to catch up. He's too. No! I'm gonna rape you now!
Hey, what you white boys up to?
Yes, I'm gonna rape you now! I can't see this! Hey, the stream is over. Oh, it's too out of nowhere! It's John Cena! Out of nowhere! He's trying to hit me the balls, but I... Hey.
They're running through the bar anymore. Get the fuck up off the ground.
Okay.
Alright, guys. All content ends now. Hey, guys, stop being content. I had to run after him.
Okay. Then the virgin walked away, and then of course, out of earshot of the black man who told him, "Hey yo, white boy, get the fuck up on out of here." They decide to sass him back from out of earshot. Where's my audio?
You get kicked out. I don't want to get kicked out, but I want revenge.
Hey, Jannies! I'm gonna call the Jannies on you if you keep acting like
I can't
that.
believe the black Janny came out. Knock it off, guys. Fuck you. We're allowed to smoke. Like, we're not allowed to wrestle a little bit.
Yeah, just two white boys having fun.
Yeah.
Whiten it up.
Don't stop running.
We're practicing the ancient Aryan practice of wrestling.
It reminds me of like children. Is that Beardson like 40? Is he like 30? How old is Beardson? Hold on, let me look this up. Beardson Beardley age. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to find this. Someone on YouTube has to know me. 35. 35-year-old man running around a fucking mall like a little boy, getting scolded at by the black Jannies, and then running away like, okay. And then they run away and go, fuck the niggers. Fuck them. You know what I mean? White power. Happy Columbus Day. Oh, by the way, so this is this guy right here. Check it out. Check it out. That's this guy. His name is Root. That's him. And this is him a little while ago. Do you notice a difference between these two roots? It's kind of like, it's like, he looks like the Nick Fuentes phenotype, like how all the streamers, all the young boys he gets on Cozy all look the same. And then he got fat, and it's like, is this like a defense mechanism? Does like Ali Akbar only molest the skinny ones? So he's just like, oh fuck it, I'll get fat. So he very cleverly he tricked Nick Fuentes to let him in. He got it all pretty boyed up and said, hey Nikki, can you let me stream my Cozy? Oh my gosh. And then he gets on, and then he's like, okay, I don't want to be molested by Ali Akbar now, so I'm gonna start eating pizza. I'm gonna embrace the pizza week mentality. Every day is pizza day. Every week is pizza week. And now he's safe from the clutches of Ali Akbar. I feel like there's something else I was going to mention in regards to the America First shit. I don't think so, though. Let me just check real quick. Oh, there is one thing, actually. Ralph has developed a new habit. Now, you may recognize this. This is something that has historical precedence in the cyberbullying community. Let's see. This habit, sort of hard to describe, kind of become more relevant again, where Leafy is here, would like to cover his chin with his hand at any given time so that you can't see his chin, because he's insecure about how his chin looks. This is a thing that's been documented now and that many people are aware of. However, little did you know that leafy chin syndrome has spread. Let's take a look at this character here. He's sitting in a throne in a McMansion owned by gypsies. And somebody is a little bit insecure. It appears that someone's pulling a Leafy is here to hide. Now this is actually an unusual take, because Leafy is covering his inset chin. Ralph, completely different, covering his double chin. And what's kind of funny, let me I'm gonna use try to do a little bit of arting right here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to outline. Let me get my red. Can I get a red marker? I can get a red marker. Okay. Let's outline this properly, shall we? I'm gonna go down. Kind of outline where his thumb is. Kind of just show you that he actually fails to cover his chin. Okay, now let's see if I can find the picture. There we go. Now look at that. He has put his entire trotter in front of his face to try and obfuscate his double chin. But even with his entire hand spread out as far as it could possibly go across his jaw, it doesn't cover up his second chin. It still pokes out from both sides. Neither side of this chin has been obfuscated correctly. So he's clearly not up to snuff. Leafy dominates him in the chin hiding Olympics. But, never doubt Ralph Amale. He can catch up. He has the time and the tenacity on his side to master the art of hiding the double chin by holding his hand out. I will now defer to my chat. Is there anything that I have missed on my coverage of the events of this week? Speak now or forever hold your... Oh, the fucking Thunderbird logo. I did promise I would look at that. Okay. Let's take a look. So this is the old logo. That's the new logo. And this is the new logo. I'll do a poll. I'm not going to say what I think. Do you like it? Oh, you can't see. Okay, hold up. Sorry. I opened the poll before I put it up on screen. Old logo, new logo, new logo. Old logo, new logo, new logo. Do you like the new logo? Yet. I know what they're doing is the thing. This is okay, so look. This is the current Firefox logo. And it's just a take on that with a Thunderbird thing and holding up mail. And they're just trying to make like brand synthesis, because Mozilla doesn't know what the fuck it's doing right now. Like, Mozilla as a corporation is completely failing. I think they announced that Google paying them so that there is an alternative, because basically if Firefox goes under, there is no competition. Like, Chrome owns a monopoly, WebKit owns a monopoly on Chromium owns a monopoly on like all browsers. So Firefox basically...
Thank you for the money. I will spend it on drugs.
Thank you. Firefox only basically exists at this point, propped up and funded by Google, so that there is competition with its browser. And a while ago, Firefox, in a display of infinite retardation, decided that they were going to change their logo to this and get rid of the fox, which is just like the most retarded fucking idea on the planet. Really just incomprehensibly retarded. So they walked that back after backlash to the this one design, which is nice. It's okay. And if we're going to accept that this one is okay, the Thunderbird logo is also okay. I'm okay with this. I understand what they're doing, and it's a much better attempt at creating like brand synthesis than what they were going for before. Because this is why they wanted to change the logo previously, is that they thought, oh, if we get rid of the fox, then we don't have to have animals for all of our different brands. And they thought, oh, we're going to create like 8 million different products, and we're going to have this whole suite of products that everyone's going to love. And then like none of them are successful. None of their products are successful. So there's like no point. The only thing that people use is Thunderbird and Firefox. So yeah, this is a much better take, and I'll check my poll now. 56% of people don't like the logo better than the old logo, and I can understand why, because like this logo is like complex enough that it's really pretty, but it's like simple enough that it does already fit in with the Firefox logo, and it's still kind of modern. It has like that nice gradienting that modern logos have, and it looks nice. But I'm not upset by this change, so. Okay. With that said, I will go into Le Chill mode. I have a very, very special song picked out for the outro. So if you are interested in that, do stick around. For everybody else, I will see you guys next week. Regardless of the outcome of that poll, I will not be streaming a second time this week. So you'll just have to catch me next Friday, and then I'll announce it when I'm going to start doing second days. All right, color correction, and then I'm going to add that green, boy. Ooh, that looks terrible. Is this what I want? Ooh, that also looks terrible. I had this working yesterday, and now I don't have this working anymore. Okay, this will have to suffice. All right. Alrighty now. Let us commence forth. Sorry, but where are my donation alerts at? Said, where are my donation alerts at? Oh, well, I know why that's not working. Okay. Recent filter from last Saturday, sort by time that way. And Cynthia for 10 says, great show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Your custodian is a Ginandromorph. Jen Andromorph for 1074 says, Kiwi Farms X Locale Farm crossover episode when? Probably never. I don't think they like me very much. Limoncello Lacroix for 10 says, so are you a Christian or a Catholic, or what are you? You never give a clear answer in any stream or post you make. You give up meat for Lent and then play Orthodox chants on your super chat segments. You make up your mind, nerd. Anyway, stay base. XOXOXO. I played the chants because someone wants me to, and I do Lent because it's like a traditional thing. I've already said that I will not talk about religiosity on my streams, regardless of any decisions that I do or do not make. So I'm gonna have to leave you hanging. Sorry. Maysif Fegit for $500. Whoa, buddy, for $25 says, Yesha, can you please play us your favorite slur remixes? Inshallah. Yes, I can. Just real quick. I have to go to BitChute though. Hold up. And then I have to change my VPN out of the Europe because they don't like this. I'm gonna go with a classic. Oh, am I never gonna be okay? Hold up. No, Goyim TV has this. Wonderful.
Life is like a nigger here in old Nigs. I hate fucking niggers. Niggers suck dick.
Everyone knows that there's no point playing it all. It's a classic. It's an indisputable classic of Mike spam on the internet. I wonder if I do get automatically banned for playing that. I wouldn't be surprised. Anonymous for 5 says, a few weeks ago I asked for prayers on YouTube Tipster because he's headed away from the Lord's grace. You said no, and that there was no saving him. Now look at Tipster. He's become worse. Father Josh, is there nothing that can be done to save this man? Dude, this dude is... Tipster was like... What tranny was he sticking up for? It was Keffels and some other dude. I made a post about this and I didn't even bring it up on stream. I might be able to find this actually because I don't think I talked about this on stream, and it's worth making fun of. I don't know anything about Tipster except that he's like a homosexual who's like in love with Keffals, and he posted like this fucking disgusting reply. It's not my dude. What thread was this in? Let's see. Aha. Okay, I did find it. Oh, I can't show it to you because it's on tour. Oh, he was defending Naomi, wasn't he? Yeah, okay, here you go. I can save this image, actually. So, what I just showed you, the fucking Naomi stuff. Here's Tipster's hot take on trannies breastfeeding children. Replies are full of people calling Naomi a creep and a groomer. Someone explained to me, how is a cis woman breastfeeding not creepy or grooming, but when it's a trans woman who's had lactation induction done, now it's creepy and grooming. Make it make sense. So yeah, that guy is fucking lost. No, really. You can pray for him if you want. Good on ya, I guess, but there's no, you can't fix that. Oh, sorry, I didn't show it. Here's the thing. Amazing. Anonymous Reply says, hey Jersh, hope you be well. Gotta say, is this more or less worse than what happened back in fall last year? Best of luck. This is way less big of a problem. Oh, it's still a pain in my ass. I still have to deal with it though. I'm just waiting on more permanent solutions instead of just juggling shit to stay up. Crackpipe Cowboy for 20 says, hey, happy Friday, Josh. I didn't know you could get copyright strikes on old hymns, and Chance at work just found a pigeon nest. What should I name them? Quote, acquire a peaceful spirit, and around you thousands will be saved. From Saint Sephirim of Sarov. I don't know. Pick your own names. Go for something biblical. You seem to like that stuff. And it's not that the hymns are old, it's that the performers are new, so they still have copyright even though the actual music is old. Can't give you like your own pet names. That's weird. Because I don't have any like reference to draw on. Maybe chat can provide some names and you can pick one that you like. Pope Urban for 10 says, link to a YouTube short. Forget what this is, but it looks like I saved this link for today. Let's find out together. Okay.
Ooh, I like your pins.
Damn. That's really loud.
Shade. My pronouns are they, them.
That's just you saying a
I played this
bunch of
already.
things.
I'm Sam.
I played the Transformers pronoun shit, and I already made the joke about Chinese robots kicking its ass. Pope Urban for 10 says, Josh, I don't know how else you're going to find a woman who tolerates you than through the farms at this point. You're over 30. Maybe you should give one chance and hit up that woman who keeps flirting with you on stream. Absolutely not. No e-girls, never. Irish Pug for 10 says, what's your take on Graphene OS Copperhead drama? Daniel McKay sounds like a proper locale. Also, I saw you upped the min donation, you greedy kike. Well, we got you to donate twice the minimum, so I guess it worked. I haven't heard about the Graphene OS Copperhead drama. I'm probably in the market for a new phone soon, so I was thinking about getting a Pixel and getting Graphene OS, but now I'll have to look into it because I don't. If there's drama, there's gonna be some bullshit. I don't want to install Troon's shit on my phone. Thank you.
Thank you for the money. I will spend it on drugs.
Thank you. Beetle Bug for 5 says, hello, I hope all is well. Just wanted to say that without a doubt, the advice you give is very good based on logic and facts. You're the only lowercase I internet man who cares enough to be sincere and honest no matter what lies ahead. Godspeed, man. Never give up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I try to be forthcoming, though. That's not always the most popular thing. Michael for 5 says, why are pastors and most Christians so out of shape? If we were made in God's image, should we not strive to show off his perfection physically through ourselves? Sculpting one's physique also reflects the mental and spiritual fortitude as well. I mean, yeah, I think that if you're physically healthy, you're mentally healthier as well. But most people are overweight these days. You know, it's the majority of people. Why are there pedophiles in the church? Because there are pedophiles everywhere. I think the church is like statistically underrepresented in terms of pedophiles. Why are there fat priests? Well, if they can't have sex, then they're probably going to eat more, just as a counterbalance. But yeah, just a reflection of society. Nonmaster 23 says, in Canada, clown world is so bad, even the clowns are killing themselves. Interview with a doctor who administers assisted dying. 40 seconds. Okay.
The book. One of the things I absolutely loved was, I mean, I have to admit to welling up several times while reading the book. One of the things about Ed, who was an amateur clown, and I think, and he was having, you were going to be administering his assisted death. And I think you must have left the room or something, or he left the room and came back dressed in his full clown regalia, including a red nose. And you asked him what that was about, you know, why was it? And he said that he wanted to go out laughing. And I just thought that was so charming. But it does lead into the fact that, from talking to you and other practitioners, it's become sort of socially accepted now that...
You just reminded me of something, and I'll never be able to find this. On Blockland, there was a really old quote from one of the administrators, from the administrator Bad Spot, and he said something like, Hitler killed 6 million Jews and 1 clown. What does that say about Jews? I'm reminded of this for some reason, out of nowhere. It's like a 15-year-old memory buried in my head that has just come crashing through. Rip Canadian clowns. Though, depending on who you ask in the security branch of Space Station 13, all clowns have it coming anyways. Anime for 10 says, now that gay month is soon upon us, how should we prepare? We should all buy weapons. For self-defense purposes. Cole Dante for 5 says, damn, you'd think Google would be more inclusive. The preferred acronym is actually TLGBT now. Oh. Actually, it's TLGBTQIAP plus D now. Linda Super Chat for 10 says, hi Josh, Linda has been a fan of your streams for a long time. However, your fans on Matrix are not so nice to Linda. They like to ridicule Linda for Linda's manner of speaking. The Megamins are especially mean. Please tell them to be nicer to Linda. Well, consider this. They are animes, and you do not appear to be an anime. Therefore, you are better than them by default. So the Megamins should be nicer to you. Sneed Pony for 6 says, happy Sodomy Sinful Month. Happy Sodomy Sinful Month to you too. I hope the fires of hell are rainbow colored. David S877 for 25 are I Am Become Kiwi, Destroyer of Troons, J. Connor Moonheimer in some alternate reality. I am reminded that Oppenheimer attempted to meet with President Truman after the war to discuss nuclear non-proliferation because of his immense sorrows over the development of the atomic bomb. And Truman's response was to call him the crybaby scientist and tell his chief of staff that he never wanted to see that pussy again in his office. And so the legend goes. Based, says my chat. Phrased you so well. DWN018 for 40 says, Josh, thank you for all your hard work propping up the last piece of the old internet. I can't imagine dealing with the level of frustration you must be having. Well, right now I'm cool. Everything's up on tour. I'm happy with its performance. I know it's not as good as it could be on ClearNet, but things are progressing and I have good people in my pocket and I have multiple plans that just take some time. And I have a feeling that in due time, the correction will be served. Thank you very much, though. Bruno for 483 says, after your virtual pegging session with Empress, tell her to crack judgment and lost judgment already, for fuck's sake. I don't think you get to decide what Impressa or I keep saying Impressa. Impressa is the name of the weird tranny fucker who like lust over all the IP2 girls on the Kiwi forums that I keep having to ban because he keeps coming back. and he's like doxxed and hated on all the Splinter sites of the Kiwi Farms too, so we can't even really post there because they all hate him. Empress is a different person. They're like a weird Russian schizo tranny. I don't even know what lost judgment is. I apologize, but I hope you get your wish. Dark Rabbit for 5 says, hello. Could you please do something about the Matrix room? It's overrun with anime avatars with some red witch character. They are incredibly disruptive and making fun of me for watching VTubers and being Indian. They even insult my IQ. Please do something. It's... Well, I mean, I can't admonish anyone for making fun of you for being Indian. I mean, just remember, well, you listen to VTubers. The ranking goes everybody, anime avatars, VTubers. That's the tier list, and then Indians at the bottom. I'm just kidding. You're not that bad. There are some Indians who are very based, and they carry knives because they never know when a Durka Muhammad Jihad is going to attack. So they're always on guard. They never relax, and that's pretty base, and that's uniquely Indian too. Nigger for 5 says, Juice, please fix the normal version of the sites. I have many exploits that have occurred in the last few weeks, and I need to inform the chat about. You're going to have to wait a little bit. Otherwise, just learn Tor. It's not that hard. Sorry. Let me sit on your face. Josh is my hero for $100. Says, I would like to refute the rumors that I am British and schizo. I am simply American and autistic. I hope to see the OG Let Me Sit on Your Face Josh in here again sometime. That person is my hero. Let Me Sit on Your Face is my hero. Refuting the claims that they are... I kind of want to dab on British schizos, but... any sort of acknowledgement is like too much because there's such an intention whore. Thank you very much. Figure Nugget for 537 says, yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of Portugal 2, the Gun Beatdown Boogaloo. And I don't think Ralph stuff has surpassed that IMO. And I don't get any notifications for your streams on YouTube. What's up with that? Make sure you smash subscribe and click the like button to get notifications for all the new hot content as it comes out. And if that doesn't work, subscribe on the fucking Telegram. I don't know why everyone hates my Telegram so much. T.me/Maddie on air. I post announcements there. Snigger for 5 says, no, I shall not use Tor like some peasant. I'm above such frivolities. Too bad, neighbor. You gotta fucking wait like everybody else. Blue Division for 5 says, boycott Pride Month 2023 from June 1st through June 30th. Do not buy from shops, stores that promote Pride Month. We can make this happen, chuds. Bro, if I see a fucking rainbow sticker on it, I don't buy it. Like, simple as. I don't know why this is a monthly thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Making it like a thing for normies is like a good I'm very pro boycott at this point. Like, go out of your way to boycott companies that want to rape your children. That is the least. Please drive 5 minutes to a different company so that your children are not raped. Don't shop at Ford so that your children are not raped. Do not buy from Maybelline so that your children are not raped. Drink a different fucking beer. Yingling is incredibly base. They supported Donald Trump. I know you guys love Dr. Trump still. Dr. President Trump. Buy Yingling. It's an American brewery out of like Pennsylvania, and it's a good light beer. It's one of the best light beers in the US. I don't know why the fuck you guys are buying Bud Light. Come the fuck on now. Come on. Nan's Trigger for 5 says, welcome to Costco. I love you. Thanks. Love you too, buddy. Anime for 5 says, the rainbow is God's symbol and he will reclaim it. Also, can you give a short list of the anti-ad software I should get? Ad nauseum if you're on Firefox, Brave if you're on mobile, and uBlock Origin I think is the good one for all browsers, like in Chrome. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 5 says, apropos of fucking nothing, what would you rather watch? The old cartoon Doug or the old Beetlejuice cartoon? I don't think I watched the Beetlejuice cartoon. I would watch Doug. Yeah, hold up. I got some of that good shit for you. That song has such weird energy. It reminds me of Kangol. It's got that fucking weird energy. This is love making music. Yeah, boy. I lost my virginity to the Mr. Dink song. Catboy Rams Wrestling for 5 says, give me Sneed or give me Chuck, Abraham Lincoln. Famous quote right before he got shot in the back of the head, unfortunately. Rest in peace, my boy. Honest Abe, as they call him. Sir Marhouse for 5 says, Matt Frad and Pints with Aquinas has shirts for sale that say reclaim the month. June is the month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And then there is the CatholicLoFi.org listing for the Reclaim the Month t-shirt. And I guess this is an advertisement for the shirt. So I'll put it,
having assisted.
put this up on the stream for people to see. This is CatholicLoFi.org. And that is actually quite a nice design, I gotta say. That's pretty fucking dope. I love the font. That is an excellent font. Hacksleet for 5 plus 5 for 10 says, Hacksleet for 10 says, my phone's default browser shows me British news despite not being in the UK. Here's 3 headlines. Notice how only one is breaking news. And then I am banned from accessing Imager on my VPN. Let me try a different VPN. I am banned from that one as well. Try a different VPN. Banned from that one as well. Try a different VPN. And I'm banned from that one as well. So, Hacksleet, if you want to put that on Catbox and spam it in chat, I will try to open it if I see it. Sorry. I do notice that, like, when I open Google and there's gay shit, if I just change my VPN to Hungary, it goes away. It's the most base life hack on the planet. Anonymous for 5 says, Canada Goose for the win. There's a reason why their jackets are $1,000. What? Everybody hates Canadian geese. Who the fuck is buying Canadian geese? Oh, is this like a brand? I'm like, are you like skinning and wearing the feathers of Canadian geese? It's it's a Canadian clothing store. He is proposing that instead of North whatever the fuck, you buy from CanadaGoose.com. Apparently they're not woke. Let me check. Let me check and see if Canada Goose has any gayness on the front page. Let's see. I see some white people. I see some Asians. It's kind of inclusive, but I don't see any rainbow flags. Who knows? Maybe that'll change in a couple days. I love asbestos for 1074 says, I have applied for an education to become a heavy equipment technician. Wish me luck. Here is 10 fag euros for your lowercase I internet show. Good luck, my dude. I believe in you. You can become a heavy equipment technician. Just make sure to wear your hard hat and watch those safety instructional videos so you don't get decapitated. Max C in quotes for 5 says, here's an uplifting song about the cosmos for later. Is this by Cosmo Sheldrake? No, it's called VIA in Russian. Ziamliania Trava Udoma. Official clip. So there you go. I'll listen to it. I like Russian music. Thank you. Base quote for 1503 says, if with the help of the Marxist creed the parentheses are victorious over the peoples of the world, his crown will be the funeral wreath of humanity, and this planet will, as it did thousands of years ago, move through the ether devoid of men. By A.H. Oh, that A.H. I was thinking somebody else. That's a weird like quote, because it seems like a reflection of Winston Churchill's thing. And if for a second the powers of Germany overcome us, which I do not for a second believe will come, it'll be up to the new world with all her power to free us and return to the old. It's kind of like a reflection of that. And if, with the help of the Marxist creed, the parentheses are victorious over the peoples of this world, his crown will be the funeral wreath of humanity, and this planet will, as it did thousands of years ago, move through the other devoid of men. Sort of like a reflection of that. It's kind of interesting with that context. I suck at doing voices. That is exactly how Winston Churchill sounds. I'll pull it up, actually. Fuck you. Fight them on the beaches, motherfucker. I'll show you. If you never heard this spoken, you'll know exactly how fucking right I am.
At any rate, that is what we're going to try to do. That is the resolve of His Majesty's government, every man of them. That is the will of Parliament and the nation. The British Empire and the French Republic, linked together in their cause and in their need, will defend to the death their native soil, aiding each other like good comrades to the utmost of their strength. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the
here's the
hills.
part that I did.
We shall never surrender. And if, which I do not for a moment believe, this island or a large part of it were subjugated and starving, then our empire beyond the seas, armed and guarded by the British fleet, would carry on the struggle until, in God's good time, the new world, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old.
I just want to check on something real quick here. How many Americans died in World War II? 407,000. How many British died in World War II? 384,000. 384,000 men and 407,000 American men gave their lives so valiantly so that fat alcoholic piece of shit can subjugate and dismantle the German Empire as it always wanted to, fulfilling the blood lust of a crippled maniac communist named FDR, who had been elected of all terms so that he could permanently disfigure the apparatus and organs of government into an indistinguishable collection of departments that operate on their own between presidencies and overcome our democratic process and murder our elected representatives and subjugate us as slaves to their whims forever and ever. Well worth it. Good job, boys. Hoorah! Land on those beach. We're coming to Berlin, boys. IRS Agent 35 says, hey Josh, did you hear about the Fur Affinity banning lolly Pokemon, then for some reason feeling the need to apologize for any confusion, decided to state that it's alright to draw pregnant 13-year-old Vor transformation as long as it's non-sexual? No, I did not hear that. Thanks for letting me know. My day is better than it was before. You hear that? If you want to draw pregnant 13-year-old Vor transformation as long as it's non-sexual, Fur Affinity, that's weird. I don't know where that Fur Affinity cares. They really hate the Cub people, and you can't blame them because the Cub people go to their events and shit all over the place, literally. Anonymous for 1074 says, speaking of Bud Light, there's a tranny Biden live tanking Anheuser-Busch stocks. Okay, fuck it.
All right, everyone. So it's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out. I'm feeling fine. But before I go out, I've got to pregame. And the only way I pregame is with an ice cold Bud Light. So good. Happy Friday.
That is horrifying. We, at this moment, after watching that video, we now live in the post-truth society. I've hinted at this before. I've talked about how we were in the information age. Now we're in the machine learning age. We are officially post-truth. Literally doesn't matter what's true anymore. Whatever you see, you cannot believe your eyes. It's over. It's over. If you can't see it, if you can't touch it, if you can't smell it, if you can't shoot at it, it might as well not exist at this point. Thorgrim, grudge bearer for 483. How did you get under 5? Did you donate in rubles? What did you do? How did you do this? I bet it was rubles. It's only been 30 minutes. I can say that for once I am truly mad at the internet. Well, thanks for watching, boyo. Thanks for your rubles. I appreciate it. Oh, stay mad. Never move to the United States. Horse Renori for 10 says, "Hey Josh, I've been really enjoying Industrial Society and its future. You should talk with Leafy is here. He's been streaming on Rumble and he is starting to a war with the trainings right now. I don't think he knows what he's in for. I mean, I guess if he wants to email me, go for it. I don't know anything about him though, except for the IDub ship." Montessor for 10 says, "Happy Pride Month, Josh," spelled with an ya, with a Coach Red Pill ya instead of an O. You were so happy together back then. What happened? Also, I know where you got your profile pic idea from. And then he links Imager again. And Imager's temporarily over capacity, so I cannot view it. I apologize. I will leave this tab open. Actually, let me leave the other image open as well, so that if Imager ever actually works, I'll be able to pull this up. I can't find the old one. I apologize. I can't. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, I have the images open now. If Imager decides to start working at any point, I'll try to refresh and see that. Sneed Pony for 660 says, "I'm now getting mad at the internet, and at least today is pizza day, the original pizza day, not the Seventh Day Adventist pizza day for heretics." It's true. I've become a Seventh Day Adventist for pizza day. Maybe one day pizza day will coincide with the stream if I decide to stream on Sundays, but who knows? Thank you. Bot or Not for 10 says, "Hey Josh, just got fucked over by the IRS. Surprise. This is to remind people your taxes mean nothing when they can print endless money. I did not commit a crime. They just want a stimulus money back." So it's not for nothing. Taxes exist for 2 reasons. It is technically to stall inflation by reducing the existence of money and the money supply. However, the other purpose that I believe is more important to the government than reduction of money is compliance. They just do taxes because, like, number one, people want the rich to pay taxes, but I also think it's just to make people comply. They could easily reduce taxes on the middle class, but they don't, because they want to make sure that everybody is complying and they are training themselves to comply. And that's more important than the like I'm doing tax literally right now I have QuickBooks open on my other tab, because even as an expat, you can't escape it. You can, even if you renounce citizenship, if you renounce U.S. citizenship specifically to dodge taxes, then you're both stateless and a felon, because that's tax dodging. If you renounce citizenship to avoid taxes, you're tax dodging. It's that fucking crazy. It's an evil machination. Hamburger for 5 says, "Nice Gino segment early in the stream. Now put Josh Jugs on camera. Give Milky's immediately. Slop, slop, slop. Brr, 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 brr. Superior malnutrition and vitality." You got your money's worth on that. Tanuki Rusty Spoon Toucher for 483 says, "Whenever I see Troons going on about their gross nipple discharge fetish, I always think about that episode of Salad Fingers where he uses a nettle to make the milk drop out." I know what you're referring to. I remember seeing this. Here's an OG. If you've never watched Newgrounds, you're in for a shock. This is what we used to watch as kids. This is why my generation is so base and yours sucks. Where's my audio?
Oh, it seems nettles have made the milk drop out from inside my teat.
You know what? That's a great quote. Wait, hold up. I'm gonna do some real-time editing here. Give me a second. Okay, watch this. You ready? This is called editing in camera for all you. Okay, we're doing some editing in camera here. Hold on. Where's my audio?
Oh, it seems nettles have made the milk drop out from inside my teat.
You could superimpose that over some videos of this guy breastfeeding with that audio, and it would just sync up so perfectly. Okay, I'll put it back on salad fingers so you're not spooked. Or I'll just hide it for now. I've accidentally lost my place. Wonderful. Yeah. You will lose your place and you will be happy. Zipper Hoodie Supremacy for 10 says, Dearest Jersh, I thought you'd be happy to hear that America's sweetheart herself, Honey Boo Boo Chow, aka Alana Thompson, has graduated high school. We should celebrate her accomplishment as a nation. Truly inspiring. It's true. Through the new American success model of redefining what success means, you too can graduate high school as a fat retard. I feel bad. I do like Alana's had a very difficult childhood, and now she's like a coal burner. You know, shit's rough out there, man. I don't know what to say. Kentucky is a dire place, but I'm glad she got her high school diploma. Annan for 5 says, Josh, they probably get off on pumping estrogen into a baby's mouth via churn milk. That's true. Of course they do. I mean, if Dr. Weimar does, then why can't others? Mr. Man for 2147 says, Holocaust month, neighbor month, thought month, rape month, Jew month, faggot month, cripple month, August spick month. Why is August like its own thing? Spick month, a second spick month, extra flips and gay, engine month, and some weird shit about grids and sexual cripples month. August is all right, I guess. Dude, August is the straight white man month. Never forget it. Eat dirt, drink bleach for 5 says, cope, seethe, and pump. Hopefully not, unless the pump is a shotgun. Thank you. Roxanne Wolferton says, bark bark, the granny tranny fulfilling his moo cow fetish using his kid without the mother's wife's consent should be linked to on your Pride domain. Mashallah, your cause is righteous. I might make it like a Git, but I have to decide what kind of content management system I want to use. I could just go lazy and use WordPress, or I could try to set up like an HTML thing and just have it be static files, or I could try to make like something Rust that is easy to contribute to. I'll see. I'll think about it. I have so much to do though. I really don't know. I wish I could burden somebody. I don't know who I'd trust with it. Hollywood Isn't History for 5 says, what do you call a small pregnant white woman on a bike next to 5 large black males? A thief, according to the anti-white narrative. Oh yeah, I forgot she was pregnant too. Pregnant and hustling. She's got to go to that got to go to work so she can help sustain the super morbidly obese black woman so that she can go back to eating tons of processed chicken every day. Our beautiful country. Forgetful Kiwi for 483 says, we love our cops, our law enforcement. That's right. Never forget. Shouts to Baked Alaska. Anonymous for 5 says, my thoughts exactly. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Anonymous for 5 says, I use iOS and I can't update the thread. Nathan Marzi, the Garfield pizza guy, had a dream where God allegedly told him that his quest in life is to make a cereal brand to get revenge for losing the Garfield license. He's also auctioning off his orange suit. That is very, very strange to hear. I wish him luck when selling his orange suit. I talked about that guy on stream like over a year ago. It was a long time ago. I don't know who you're talking about though. Preacher Chris 96 for 5 says, happy Pentecost weekend, Josh. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. Thank you. Happy Pentecost to you too. The Pentecost is on Monday, I believe. Anonymous for 5 says, what should I do with the Target gift cards sitting in my drawer? Sell them online and use that money to shop elsewhere. Dylan Chaggett Folk for 1630 says, I approve this message from Nick Fuentes, the Mexican leader of my Jewish white nationalist movement. Thank you, Chaggett. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. Good luck to your 1650. The new racist number. Oh, he donated 1630. I get it. It's 1630 like a bare minimum. Nick Fuentes is going for that 1650 though. Sneedo Ho for 5 says Los Mexicanos don't want to deal with the El Sex Pest Senora Queda. I mean, I don't know. You get your plans for a building and it's like a soundproof room with like a one-way locking door and like weird, and it's like specifically written up where there has to be able to support like the human body weight from the roof at certain points. It's like, that's a bit sus. I don't want to be involved in this. Alex for 43 says, I'm 31 and my wife, 25, has a little sister who is 16. I can't imagine being with her sister and said, she's only a child, certainly in my eyes, as I've known her since she was 12. Any adult who's trying to date a 16, 17-year-old should be lynched as a pedophile. Pedophile spelled in the traditional British way. Yeah, basically. It's the rule, man. It's like half your age plus 7. That's the minimum. So if you're 50, that's 32. And what's funny is you say that aloud. A 50-year-old dating a 32-year-old. That doesn't even sound bad. A 30-year-old dating a 22-year-old would be mine. That's a stretch, but it's like, yeah, that's not too bad either. She's over 21. That makes sense. And the rule just makes sense. Nick Fuentes is 24, so that would be 18, my boy. 18 is the bare minimum, and that's a little bit of a stretch too. Neo Galaxy for 5 says, what's with the anime person in Nick's streams? I just assume that person is a pedophile. That's always a safe bet. Anyways, I found a broccoli boy in the wild and told him to follow Man at the Internet on YouTube. I hope he gained more broccoli boy followers. I think if a broccoli boy listened to the stream, he would catch on fire. I don't think he can handle it. I wonder, okay, unironically, is anybody listening to this right now and have the broccoli haircut? If so, why? I'm watching chat. Explain yourself to me. Repent. And how old are you if you have that shit? Yes, brain damage. For real, no cap. It's the mulatto hairdo. It gets me laid. Because it's bussin'. Wait, someone said he's 22 and he has the broccoli boy haircut? Who the fuck? How are you not embarrassed of that shit? Perms were never... I'm 25 and I have... Is this not a picture of you? I have broccoli hair. I'm 19 and I do it to get bitches. Okay, Haram Burger. I don't believe Haram Burger. Get bitches. Imagine being a woman and being attracted to that. Oh my god, you look like that health food. You look like that I ate in my like drink. I like to blend broccoli. Oh my god. That must mean you're like tasty, am I right? Donald Survives says, I always find it funny how Groypers and similar Crisis King Tradcath LARPers talk about women when women are literally a gift from God according to the Bible, which they would have known if they read it the first couple of chapters. That's true. Adam is Ronery. He's like incel. He's got his emo haircut. And he says, I need a hoe. And so God takes a rib and gives him a hoe. And then supposedly she ruins everything forever. But, you know, if there's no problems, then there's nothing to fix. And what is a man for except to fix things? Am I right? Azerman for 5 says, Nick is so desperate to be Kevin Spacey's character from American Beauty with no boundaries and doing what he wants without thinking about consequences. His changes became impossible to ignore after he streamed it in Twitch. Oh, Ricada, not Fuentes. Yeah, I've never seen American Beauty, so I can't comment on the allegory. But I mean, yeah, it feels like he just wants to do what he wants to do, and then if his audience isn't cool with that, then that's their problem. And it's like the smart, the professional thing to do. And he can disagree with me all he wants. I maintain that my position is correct. If you want to do weird stuff and enjoy, you know, coming into your 40s and having your last burst of youth and vigor and vitality, and you want to do things with your wife, go for it. But there's no denying it, especially at like his income level, that his streams are like his career, and it's very fair to judge you on how you treat your career and your customers and the people who support you. And I think that he's quite simply he's doing a bad job. And I base this off of, he has a poor professional performance in this matter. And I base this off of what I see his fans saying about him. And he'll contend that I have a very warped perspective that's uninformed because I'm only reading what people are writing on certain platforms that are like the Kiwi Farms that are specifically catered to be negative. But I contend that the Kiwi Farms was very pro Rekieta and soured over time. And it is that observation that I base my opinion off of, not strictly the negative things. I have seen the whole picture over years at this point, and I can see what people are saying and why they're saying it and what specifically is setting them off, and how it was like a domino cascade where at first it was a couple people coming out and saying, stop nose guarding, he's a big fat kike, and it was just like, oh, whatever. And then over time it became more and more people like slowly saying like, this is too much for me. And I mean, he can disagree with me, and you'll point to his bank account and say, I'm still rolling in the dollar bill, y'all. And it's like, okay. I mean, if that's all that matters, then, you know, you do you. I ain't you. I don't profit either way. But it is kind of offensive to be brushed off as someone who is like strictly on the premise that I'm just like too misinformed and naive to really understand my position. When I feel like my position is relatively informed and pretty neutral and correct above all else. But whatever. I have no control over people's life, and it seems like the more I get involved with it, the worse things are for them. So the less I say, the better, to be quite honest with you. Romeo for 5 or Anonymous for 5 says new MC Jarbo song just dropped. Yes, that's true. My outro song will be the new MC Jarbo song. MC Jarbo was nice, and he was premiering it 2 hours after my stream started, but he was nice enough to actually send it to me so I could like pre-screen it, and I have it ready to go. So that will be the outro song. Thank you. And thank you to him as well for being nice enough to send me the MP3 before it officially premiered so I could actually listen to it. Romeo for 5 says, invasion of Ukraine report on May 20th, Russia has fully captured the city of Bakhmut, which is also the first anniversary of the Russian capture of Mariupol and the 4th anniversary of Volodymyr Zelensky's inauguration as president of Ukraine, both on May 20. I heard about that apparently after 290 days of fighting. Actually, I have this ready to go. I completely forgot about it. I didn't slot it into my news segment at all. Ooh, actually, I may not have the video ready to go.
Jonesy.
Oh, that's fish tank. Oh, I forgot the fish tank shit too. Ah, fuck. I forgot fish tank. I can show you the fish tank thing, I think, if I can find it. This.
He fell down from that fifth step all the way down.
Oh, I just fucking landed. I just fucking fucking lost. The last fucking job was like down. I'm fucking lost. The last fucking time.
Just sit down. Sit
I
down.
just fucking time. I'm almost there. I'm almost wrong. I'm almost wrong at this point. I'm almost wrong. The next day I'm forced. I didn't get my fucking clean stick for money.
He went full force.
I'm not fucking mad to go back.
Chris, hold on to the rail. Chris, hold on to the rail.
Yeah, that's if you're only listening, he fell face down in the stairs full force because I guess he's too fat to walk upstairs now. Oh yeah, he's literally too fat to watch that in slow-mo. Watch. He's like walking 1 foot at a time because I guess he's too fat to like lift his other foot up to the like normally when you walk upstairs you can like put your foot up on the other step, but he's too fat to do that, so he walks up one at a time and he's like really sitting, like he has like the outward pointing toes, so he's like really precariously footing, and then oh no, and then he reaches out, he realizes he's falling, reaches out to the walls, and he's actually managed to pin himself between both, so it would be very easy just to step up at that point, but he's too weak to hold up his body weight, so he falls because he can't hold himself up, and he also can't even catch himself, and he just goes like face down into each step one at a time. Really unfortunate stuff right there. As far as that super chat was going, I named this Wagner.mp4. This is not Wagner.mp4 at all. I think I don't have the video because I overwrote the original file with the wrong file. It was just it was just going to be the Wagner guy, like saying like, you know, Bazooka Bliat, more ammo, Putin, and so on and so forth. But they did it. They took the city, the glorious, strategically important city of Bakhmut is now in the hands of the glorious Russian army. After 290 days, this pearl of Ukraine has been captured. Congratulations. Also known as Artyomovsk or something. I think that's the Russian name, not the Ukrainian name. As it shall be known from now on, this wonderful place where many people live. Sneed neighbor, I can't sneed for 10 says, neighbor, look here, listen, appearing offline does not fucking stop it, so stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. By the way, I paid $10, here's a short clip. Oh my fucking god.
I might drink a Pepsi later on.
Thanks, bro, I appreciate it. Jim G. for 5 says, you watch your mouth about IP2 and Wuza standing in front of Columbine with fake firearms as base, and it's definitely not controlled opposition. I repeat, we are not controlled opposition. Also, please let me get some justice for Yoba in chat. He needs you. Hear that, guys? Justice for Yoba. Let's see it. Let's see some representation in the chat. Now, Mr. 5 says, I didn't know you were a Justice fan, Josh. You should play Waters of Nazareth for the next stream's intro and make everyone's ears bleed. I just like stress. I don't know why. And I love, if you don't know, if you search Justice Stress, there's a music video, and this music video is it's that really crazy tune I played as the intro, but set to like these some black immigrants like walking around smashing shit for no reason. Like there's implied like sexual assault and stuff, and it's just like, it's so agonizing to watch. It makes you so angry, and it's like filmed. It's like, it's not like real footage, but it's like filmed, and it just makes you so pissed off, and it feels so real. And despite being, you know, achieving its purpose of making you feel that stress, that anxiety, it's banned from showing up on TV because like the French censorship authorities felt that it was so successful at portraying these like black immigrants as being horrific people that it would be like a dangerous thing to let the public see, because they would assume it was real and develop like xenophobic sentiments. So there's a really interesting quote about the song that goes, it's a song that you can't play on radio because it's like instrumental and it's really like hard on the ears. And it's a song that you can't play, and it's a music video that you can't play on TV because it's legally banned because it's so offensive. That's a pretty interesting piece of music. Cole for 5 says, I think Graf did the same thing to me too. I think he deleted my account and banned my IP from making a new one. All I did was disagree with a person on a different note about making KiwiFarms.c was a betrayal of Graf, and then finding out I have a Kiwi Farms. KiwiFarms.cc I think existed before Post, so I don't know how that's a betrayal. We brought it back. Neo Galaxy for 5 says, Josh the Chad Thundercock Medicare Fembot X. Oh, no, fuck off. Don't even. Oh, no, and she's not even white, so no, flat out. Odabear for 777 says, hey Josh, is there a way to encrypt Fediverse DMs and other information? Also, would one set up IP hashing with VChan? I'm very retarded and followed ChatGPT since it told me to make changes to post.php. If you want to set up that, unless it's like a built-in feature, you're gonna have to change the entire way the database works. I think, dude, just talk to Frederick. Frederick's lonely. Just email Hot Wheels and be like, hey, bro, I want to set up a ViChan instance, and I want hashing. As far as like encrypting shit on the Fediverse, no, you can't. Use Signal. Haas Delgado for Pipe says, looking forward to more podcasts every week. Listening to you talk about the Fediverse people I've actually interacted with is a strange feeling. Have a nice holiday weekend. I mean, as Crunklord likes to call them, they are the podcast race. They're a weird bunch. By the way, a shout out, because now that I've been reminded, of all the people in the leaks, the one who came out looking the best was Wormwood, who does those comics, the comic artist Wormwood. There are so many thoughts and homosexuals trying to tempt him with bussy and pornography and booba, and he simply says, no, I am right with Christ, and I do not desire your foul temptations. Thought, be gone. And so they were, and it was good. Wormwood on that grind set, that Jeebus grind set. Crispy Legs for 966 says, smiley face. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hexagon 369 for 50.
Thank you for the money. I will spend it on drugs.
Thank you very much. For 55 says, Pulse Chain is live 555. Shout out to Richard Hart 666. I assume that is an advertisement for a cryptocurrency. So if you're interested in wasting your fucking money, you can invest it in Pulse Chain, or you can super chat me. Probably a better use of your money. Invest in the Hua race. Invest in me. The Antioch for 5 says, I watched a bit of Kingpin stream snipe, and I can say that is 1000% confirms everyone in America First are closet faggots who want to fuck each other. Male friend groups don't make constant jokes about fucking each other unless they're all gay. Yeah, I agree. Beardson's probably gay now. He tried a woman and then she dumped him. Now he wants to be like Jeffrey Dahmer. He wants a man that can never leave him. Anonymous for 5 says, what's up, Josh? I got a date with a hot Jewish girl, her dad's side, tonight, so I'm currently jelking while watching Medi. Glad to see the site is back up on ClearNet. Hashtag hustle. By the way, you can use this $5 towards the site. No, I cannot. Good luck on your date, though. I mean, if you're going to like set the stage for your date by jelking, it's kind of disgusting, to be quite honest with you, bro. Remember, a Jewish woman will ruin your life. So I've heard. Research purposes mostly for 5 says, Beardson not having drank at all. Also grabbed Wurz's dick like 4 or 5 times that stream. Chat brought it up the next day and he denied it. And they harassed the whore a bit from afar and berated Chat for donating, demanding they press her for content. All those people sound like cringe. Let me sit on your face, Josh, is my hero. I mean, really, like, juvenile fucking, like, Beardson 35, acting like a fucking 12-year-old. It's really pathetic. I wonder why his wife left him. Could it be that he's emotionally stunted forever and will always will be? No, that can't be it. Is it because he's physically stunted as well? Yes, very likely. Let me sit on your face, Josh is my hero for $100. Says Keffel's jump scare, and jump scare it is. Sitting there, minding my own business, enjoying my thoughts, and then I have to hear Keffel's voice. I have to change. I should do what I said before and just change it to something random each week. Anonymous Reply says Baked Alaska is fundraising 1/6ers for a really skeevy way. I don't know what a 1/6er is. What's a 1/6er, chap? He's teaming up with someone named Helena Gibson, who's friends with him and Fed informant Enrique Torrio to raise money for them using Gibson Goes. Oh, January 6ers. Okay. The whole thing glows. I mean, Gibson Go sounds like it's gonna, like, it would kick them off. I don't think you can raise money for people that they think are guilty. Like, that's their official policy. I don't blame them for trying to help those people out, though, because they're like completely fucked over. It's really sad. Frog God for 5 says, always excited for Fridays. Love your streams. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm sorry that you can't post your frogs on the site anymore, my boy. One day you will be able to. Let me sit on your face, Josh, as my hero for $100. Says, name the pigeon Jeffrey, Eggstein, and Chantal. Also, when is the site going to be up again? Soon. You cannot steal my pigeons' names, though. That's sacrilege. You have to come up with your own names. Low for 483 says, IT department at work gave me shit for forgetting to turn off Tor while accessing my work email on my browser. Fix the site so I don't get shit again. Just use a different browser. Why are you using the Cute Farms at work? They're gonna watch you do that anyways, aren't they? That's not a good idea. Scar for 5 says 2023 will be the year of my revenge. The Colossal Khan wave pool shall run red with the blood of my enemies. All of Sandusky will remember my name. I'm coming for you at the gay store. I have no fucking idea what any of that means. I don't understand the gay score thing at all. I apologize. Good luck though. I am a Vina for 5 says, you have a Plex server. What shows or films you got on it? What is a Plex server? Your name, by the way, is a very clever reference. So when JFK went to Vienna and said Ich bin Wiener, a really famous sentiment. It resonated with all the Austrians for years. Plex is the software company that develops its namesake streaming media service and client-side media platform. Plex is a media server. No, I do not have a Plex server. I got a bunch of movies on my computer though. But I really haven't had time to watch a movie in forever. Fiener did nothing wrong for 5 says, Neighbors referencing 40K everywhere think they sound super edgy and cool, but don't realize they just sound like modern super hulock. You're not funny or clever, you just sound cringe. P.S. Kill Rungle, Sneedcord never dies, currently viewing Thread Chantal, etc. Thanks, appreciate it. I agree that 40K sucks. I have no interest in that. Sanctus Ordo Megaminus Gravide for 5 says, we in the Megamin faction and appreciate Linda and would never bully him. You hear that, Linda? They apologize. I'm glad that I've resolved this for you. Jim GNA for 5 says, I suggest every anime fan stand in the front of the mirror and speak the name of their favorite anime and feel the unfathomable sadness wash over them when they realize they're overweight and single. Now whisper Yoba and you'll lose 20 pounds, even on pizza day. That's true. Well, look at yourself in the mirror and say, look yourself in the eyes and just describe your favorite anime. Describe the plot like you would to someone who has no concept of what anime is. Though in my favorite anime, first of all, the main character, the 13-year-old girl, and she's socially awkward. And basically there's the episode where she is massaging her back and then falls asleep and her dad walks in and it looked like she was masturbating to her favorite boy band. And there was the time that she cheated on cards. It's like, just imagine, just look yourself in the face when you describe these things. My favorite anime is this TV show where it's about a brother and his sister and like the other girl, and like he goes into a coma at some point and he like jerks off to her while she's unconscious and then cries because he did this and he's like really embarrassed about it. Like, just describe it, see what happens, see if you can manage to finish your thought, actually finish the plot synopsis without becoming too embarrassed to continue. Jim GNA for 5 says, I suggest, I read that. Lumine Shen for 1074 says, for your company site thing, would Hugo be a good idea for doing the site? Basically parses markdown files to create a site, supports tags and stuff. Is it like a tool that takes like syntax and then uses a templating thing to create static files? If so, it might be. I was considering that as well. So that I wouldn't have to be completely 100% HTML. It could just be something where you have like templating files, but it's like mostly static and it compiles static. I know there are things like that. So I'll look into it. It has to be fast though. It has to be like fast and retard proof. And the main thing that I'm considering is that like a search feature. I don't know if I would back end that or front end that. Hal for 10 says, hello Josh, I'm once again here to show my support. Keep things up. Keep up the good work. Neighbor. Thank you, Hal. I appreciate it. I'll try my best. I will be busy this week though, due to aforementioned paperwork, and then I will try to do more stuff. Stinker for 5 says, show this meme and all will be forgiving, stalker child. And then there is an iFunny thing. Okay. Women with a time machine. And then it's a man. Thank you for letting me vote. And the woman's like, what the fuck? Men with a time machine. Go on, Hitler. Tell Hadrian what happens if he doesn't finish off Judea. You know what's funny about Emperor Hadrian? Didn't he have like a boy concubine? Am I misremembering? Maybe that's Talmudic misinformation, but I'm pretty sure Emperor Hadrian had like a nice boy on the side that he was fond of. Anonymous for 5 says, have you ever seen the movie Anara? The needless degeneracy aside, what do you think of its core message? I've never even heard of the movie Aniara. Aniara, a spaceship carrying settlers to Mars is knocked off course, causing the consumption-obsessed passenger to consider their place in the universe. I have no idea. I've never even heard of this. I apologize. I cannot comment. Hacksleep for 5 says Catbox file. Okay, let's see. Okay, so these are the headlines from the BBC. You ready? At least one person killed in Russian missile strike on Ukrainian medical clinic. British citizen shot and wife dies of starvation after being left in Sudan. And then breaking news, British cycling bans transgender women from elite women's events after review. So I guess the joke here is that people being blown up in Ukraine and British citizens shot and wife dying of starvation after being left in Sudan is less breaking news than the trannies being kicked off the cycling teams. Sex to be British. Flexiglass for 5 says, when you do your podcast, I usually go on a walk, and right now there's an enormous bright rainbow in the sky. Makes me pretty sad that something so beautiful got turned into a symbol for butt sex. Yes, and we all know who to blame for it, but I agreed that one day we shall reclaim. We will return the rainbow. Shill mode word scramble for 5 says, let's play word scramble. Unscramble the letters below to spell out today's secret password. To claim your special prize, GIGNRE. Feel free to spam your guesses in the chat or yell it out as loud as you can so many people as possible can hear you. It's ginger. It's ginger. I know what it is. Nice try, guy. Thorgrim Grudgebearer for 517 says, my bad, I did donate in funny currency Eurobucks. Here's an extra 17 cents for you, an extra $5 to settle the grudge. Godspeed and have a good pizza evening, George. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for setting things straight. It really means a lot to me. You know how I am. My phenotype inclines me towards every penny possible. Winston Fujimori for 5 says, I told my friends that the French are better than the British and they think I'm insane. Their arguments devolve into boomer talking points about them in World War I and World War II. I keep giving examples about how the French have evolved over the years to no avail. They both suck. Whenever the French get brought up and Francophiles are like, actually, the French were the most powerful and significant military entity in the European continent and perhaps even the whole world for hundreds of years. In fact, even when World War II started, everyone assumed that the French had the best standing military in the world, which is why it was such a shock when they fell so fast. It's like, yeah, hundreds and hundreds of years, little fucking squabbles were the unified Francophile. Basically what it was is that the French had developed a pan-nationalist, ethnic, homogenous country way before any other country did. So it was just bigger. And then they developed nationalism before any other country did. So they had a unified military structure. And that's why they did better than any other country. Until the Prussians did the same exact thing with Germany. And then they sucked. And they lost. And then they fucking lost more. And then when the one war that actually defined the world order came and they lost in 6 months, the Ghost Division just rolled up in Paris like holla holla get dollar, and then the next day Hitler was goose stepping under the Arc de Triomphe, and that's what they'll be known for until France ceases to exist and it just becomes a constituent of the European Union. Such is life. Anonymous for 5 says, my credit score went up 50 points, so I thought I would send you some shekels. Also, I hate that Ford made a gay truck commercial. Fuck the Troons. I can't sell my F-150, Josh. Also, a truck suggestion for you is an older single cab Silverado. They're nice. I am considering a if I can find one, a GMC. I think is it a Durango or Dodge Durango? No, it's not the Durango. No, the Durango's the SU. What's the big GMC truck? Someone is it the Yukon's also a GMC is expensive. Yeah, that's the thing. It's very hard to find. It's cheap. Like you get like worse versions in Serbia. Sierra, yeah, that might be it. I'm thinking of getting a GMC, but I know that they're more expensive. But that's why you have a loan. GMCs are the shit. You guys... Oh, I've been doing my research. Are GMCs actually good? Yeah, Francis over, get a motorcycle. I mean, I wish I could get a motorcycle. You know how I love motorcycles. If Ethan Ralph had a motorcycle, I'd be so jealous. And now that he doesn't have that nagging bitch wife of his around, you know, he could buy a motorcycle. Tahoe, Subaru, Yukon XL. Okay. I don't want a Toyota. Fuck Toyota. Here's the issue. Okay, listen. Oh my god, I don't want to talk about trucks. I would prefer a vehicle with a diesel engine, and Toyota does not make any trucks with a diesel engine, from what I understand. So if I want a diesel, I would have to get a GMC, and they're very expensive because diesel fuel keeps longer, and I believe that even the fuel economy is better or something. But that's because it runs at lower RPMs, but I don't care. So I don't know. That's just my thought. I really don't need anything about vehicles. I just know that if I buy a vehicle, I want it to work once the Civil War is started and supplies collapse, and I have to have, you know, a petrol jug, gallon, like a 50-gallon jug in my garage. That's my thought. Okay. All right. Ask Wings. That's a great idea. I'll call in. Wings, you gotta give me. Here's what I need in my vehicle. What can you tell me, brother? What can you tell me, brother? Pitch me your pick. That would be great. That would be good content. I'll do that. Anonymous for 15 says, "Bussin', the devil ain't got no riz." And then a link to a video. Okay.
Well, good morning. How is everyone this Sunday? Has everybody tried that new coffee out in the community center? I gotta say, sheesh, it's bussin'. Isn't it bussin' today? This is a new song. Your love is bussin'. Sing it with us.
This is Bussin' by Trill Song. I will allow you to seek it out on your own. Waffins for 1488 says Foxford Comics. And then he has linked a comic from Wormwood, who I gave a shout out to just a little while ago. This is not the right one. Welcome to the Secret Laboratory, chum. I'm going to combine these two creatures for my amusement. A mountain gorilla and a completely random human I found. And now the gorilla is retarded. There's actually a news article I didn't show where apparently on Apple Photos and Google Photos, there was a scandal a couple years ago where the auto recognition software kept classifying gorillas as black people, or no, other way around, as black people as gorillas, and they just hard disabled gorillas as like a thing the AI can recognize, so that if you upload pictures of actual gorillas, even to this day, it doesn't categorize them. It has no suggestions. It doesn't recognize them because it would still classify black people as gorillas if they were allowed to try and classify them. Board developer for 5 says, "Can you create a thread for your project idea that way you can gauge interest in detail, scope, stack, and agree upon IMO? A popular high-level language would be more accessible. It may require less babysitting on your part. I'd love to help." I think, and this is what my pitch will be, I will open the thread for it. I think that a Node.js system that takes that takes templates and compiles static files would be the best thing at least as an entry level for the project. So that's my pitch. If you have an idea for what that would compose of, write it down and I'll make a thread on the forum. You'll have to post by Tor on it though. Winston Fujimori for 5 says, say nothing, but oh wait, I just want to say that I, Joshua Connor Moon, love... Oh, no, I'm not saying this for 5. Winston Fujimori says he loves the last few Pippa Pipkin streams and she played Deus Ex. Pippa, if you're listening to this, Winston Fujimori wants to give you a big anime kiss. Kiss emoji. Shout out you and your husband, Ghost. Thank you, Winston. Pope Urban for 5. Oh wait, Twinkle Tart for $100 says, rumor has it Graf knows where to get the best Minecraft mods. It's true. I heard he's a big fan of Minecraft. I heard that Lude the Wise is a big fan of Minecraft too. I heard that he likes to play Minecraft. He tried to Minecraft himself even 3 times. He should give it a 4th time. He should really boot up Minecraft and stare longingly into the distance and give it a go. I bet you the 4th time is the charm. Thank you. Pope Urban for 5 says, if you have Target gift cards, you might as well use them. Target already got their money when the card was bought. Cashing it in stocks them for no additional profit. Okay, here's what you do. You have a Target gift card. This is a hypothetical. I'm speaking about the video game Minecraft. I'm not talking about actually doing this, nor encouraging people to. Go to Target, spend all your gift cards on oil, and then throw your oil on the ground. Just take like a gallon bucket of Crisco, buy it with your gift card, and then just dump it on the floor and say, mop it up, Janny. And then log out of Minecraft as you had your fun. Shill mode word scramble. Or you can buy children's clothing and burn it in front of the target. Shill mode word scramble for 5 says, congratulations to everyone who correctly guessed today's secret password, Ginger. Your special prize will not be reported to the ADL and NAACP for hate speech. We live another day, chat. We live another day. Homosexual salesman for 5 says, what is there not to get? It's a store that sells gay services and products at a reasonable price. Not interested. Thank you. Door slam. Anonymous for 483 says, hey Josh, I actually somehow have an anime you might like. It's called Legend of Galactic Heroes. It's basically a space opera from the Age of War between Republican dictators and Red Sox. Not watching it, thank you. Anime for 5 says, my favorite anime is Meditation on the Futility of Life. Also, some men have gay sex. Wow, cool. Great to know. Thank you very much. Anonymous for 483 says, hey Josh, have you seen the BBC has released its own disinformation program? How do they think people can believe this shit? Link to Media Center BBC News Transparency Verify. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about. This is the disinformation stuff. A brand to address the growing threat of disinformation and build trust with audiences by transparently showing how BBC journalists know the information they are reporting. I'm all for it. More bullshit. Just pump it through. Spend more money. Adamus for 483 says, having seen the Top Gear episode where Toyota Hilux survives after being heavily abused. Plus, I think ISIS uses Toyota Hiluxes, and there might be diesel variants. Maybe. I don't know. I could go for Toyota, I guess. I just have, for whatever reason in my head, Chevy and GMC are brands that I like. I don't even know why. My grandpa always had Fords. My grandma drove a big Grand Marquis. And I don't want to say what kind of car I've driven before, because that is like a fucking social security number question. I'll let you guess. But yeah, I don't know. The only car guy I ever knew was a big Chevy guy. And that's it for that. Let me check Odyssey real quick. There is some tips on Odyssey. Rickenbacker 15 says, last Jonah was funnier in my head. Here's an article in the video of Troon getting the shit beat out of him by Italian police for flashing kids and threatening to infect them with HIV. Oh, that was like right in front of a school too. Trans-identified male arrested after stripping in front of school, threatening people with HIV. Let's see. Rola Gabriel says, 3 Italian police brutally assaulted and pepper sprayed and kicked an unarmed trans woman in Milan. Criminalizing and inciting violence against transgenderism has lethal consequences. So-called gender ideology is used to justify government discrimination. Literally, he was standing in front of a school, naked and threatening passerbys with his own HIV blood if they came near him. He's lucky that they probably didn't shotgun him because he's like a water balloon filled with AIDS. Yeah. Get him. Arrivederci. Stop the resisting. Papa da boo. Stop the resistano. Get your AIDS blood away from me, you fagotto. The readers added context they thought people might want to know. The incident took place in Milan on the May 24th. A transgender individual being subdued by police had been reported after exposing his penis to school children and threatening to infect people with HIV. He then violently attempted to evade arrest. Fuck, I love that system. That's unironically the best goddamn thing that Elon Musk has added. Oh, I can't view this. You can't see the penis on the Twitter unless you give Elon Musk an account. And you can't have an account because you're Kiwi Farms and you're banned. Such is life. Okay. Josh complains, or ... for 10 says, Josh complains about milking men, and yet he's trying to set up a second stream so he can milk all of us. I just want to give people what they want, and then maybe buy a truck with it. Look, I'm trying to progress in my life. Don't hold it against me. I give you what you want. This is a symbiotic relationship. It's not exploitative. A and N did nothing wrong for 10 says, you finally noticed something Godwinson's done. He'll be so happy. Also, shout out to the poster on the Jack Scalfani thread. He's still going. Dude, the Jack Scalfani people are unflinching. They have to A-log that man. Godspeed. Anonymous for 50. Library Dingle Dongle says, funniest thing, all the guys forced to set in call while Ricada talks about his sex dungeon. That is true. You have like 5 people silent where he's just like, man, I can't get a contractor to extend my child's room to a sex dungeon. Common Filth Respecter for $100 says, howdy Juice, how do you think Chantal and Jeffrey Epstein are doing? Think they're getting enough peppers in their diet? Think they should have found mates or have found mates of their own? Are you a grand pigeon father? One can hope. And as always, ignore sodomite orders. I am sure that they're doing very well, eating French fries, eating little bits of KFC on the ground, getting the banana peppers, the Hungarian wax peppers as they're known in this region, in their diet. And by the way, Common Filth is back producing videos, I think on Odyssey. So check that out if you were. I haven't seen it yet, but somebody told me. I have to go check it out because I like Common Filth back in the day. Though these days, I hope he's A-logging white women less because they already get A-logged too much by homosexuals like AF. Common Filth Respecter again for $1 this time says, we ever gonna hear from Crunklord on stream? No. Crunklord is like a schizophrenic when it comes to his privacy. He refuses to use the site anytime Tor is not up, and he only communicates via bizarre antique messaging applications I've never even heard of. He's really crazy, but he's pretty cool. And he's never led me astray. Anytime I take his advice, it usually works out. Even though I don't understand his logic half the time. And on Rumble, there are some rumbles. Longboarder 241 says, good afternoon, Josh. Got another third print for you, this time for some Kiwis. For this one, me and Rico Crow from Telegram worked on these together. We wanted to send them to your PO, but that's right, I can accept mail. And again, for $5 says, also you can get 3D printers these days for like $80, including shipping off AliExpress. So it's a real low barrier to entry. Anyways, enjoy. Well, that's really cute. So you design these in like a I guess SketchUp is probably old, but you use like Blender or something, right? And then you make like a model, and then you can convert that to the 3D printer format, and then that contains instructions on how to use like some kind of material to actually build the construct. I don't really understand how the underlying technology works, so it's really cool. It's definitely because I know that when COVID hit, there was a very specific part to ventilators that were hard, like thousands of dollars to get replacements of. And there was some hospital in Italy that managed to some guy there was like a hobbyist 3D printer guy, and he managed to 3D print a functional replacement for this ventilator part that was proprietary and inexpensive and time consuming to get, and was in high demand because COVID had just hit, and they were able to like literally save lives with it as a like a homebrew replacement for this part. So it's a really cool thing. Like I'm a big fan of hobbies that are of an actual practical asset. I think that people's hobbies should be productive. You know, it shouldn't be like television. It should be, you know, shit that's a skill that could be a job. You generally want two skill sets. You want one that you make money with, and then you want one that is just for you. And then he got sued. I don't know the story with that. That's just something that's in my head. It's like a cool story. If you want to like bitch about COVID shit, oh fuck it. Long Border 241 again for one says, I talked to Leaf and he said he'd be down to talk to you. You may want to cause Fuentes is trying to turn him into a cat boy right now. I mean, sure, why not? If he wants to talk, sure. I'll have to pick a time for that. All right, last roll call. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Then I'm done. Let me sit on your face, Josh, for 5 says, to my fans, stop giving Josh money to make him notice you. If you want him to notice you, make sure it's $200 every time you donate. That's right. I got trucks to buy, like Wingo. I got my Ford Raptor F1 650, whatever the fuck. No, not even as a joke. Not even as a joke would I buy a Ford. You know why? Because I'm straight. I'm straight, and the straight man wears Axe body spray and does not drive Fords because they're the mark of the beast now. All these so-called rednecks driving around in their Fords, drinking Bud Light behind the wheel, and it's like, oh, you think that just because you're drunk driving, you're a redneck? Okay, whatever you say, sodomite enabler. Okay, I'm out. I'm done. Don't send me any more money. I'm out. This is a song by your boy, MC Jarbo. Wait, shit, fuck, I hid stuff. I was trying to turn this off without doing that. This just came out. It's premiered while I was streaming, and now I get to show it to you live on air. All right. I will see you guys next Friday, probably. And thank you very much. Thank you all the Gumroad people. Thank you all the super chats. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. Listen up, Anita keeps denying the pussy, bitch. You'll find me in. It's not like these fucking niggers who get down on their knees and go trying to the pussy, please. Cause how am I supposed to even compete with African wildebeest? This slut married a millionaire, took most of the hair that grows on his head. She just wanted to date a tramp and shoot heroin. Trust me, she'd come drain Froggy fresh too if I didn't boot her from the main event. We never faking, never go woke. Tell you, been awakened. Man, she's one with the pigs. How can she hate bacon? And she'd say something like, if you ain't earned a strike, boy, I guess it's there for the taking. I took 2 shots right to the hippocampus. Shook like a bitch while my bitch spread her fat puss. Took 2 shots right to the hippocampus and started crying right before I hit the canvas. Damn, that's a fucking nigga faggot. Can you remember when you weren't such a nigga faggot? Dude, I thought you were actually funny when you weren't such a fucking nigger faggot. Nothing but a faggot. Everywhere I go, look at this damn nigger faggot. Fucking nigger faggot. Now that's a straight up nigger faggot. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave. I got bullied for my packed lunch when I was at school. He dropped my head in the toilet, grabbed a chain and then pulled. One day I called him a bigger nigga. I thought it would be cold. 20 years later, I don't throw punches, I prep bowls. My wife's fucked at least 100 of the same fools. They've stretched the bitch open with their medical tools.
Shut the fuck up, Ian, and sit on the cock stool.
Babe, my head's still in the toilet eating all the soft stool. You dumb bitch, how can you display the gash to everyone at the motherfucking creator clash? So yes, they finally grasp that G-rated ass is worth 20 times more than a chin made of glass. Can still taste dried up jizz on this beta cash. Let's just say some niggas became attached. Ian dropped the keys, dropped the paper stash. Didn't even leave here with my name attached. That's all in the past, I'm the future of this bitch. Why else would they call me Beta Max? Man, the piece is a blast. Sometimes we sit back and laugh and just freeze frame the moment that my face got smashed. She says that it's her favorite match, my greatest chance to get a semi-dilated snatch. So when her legs open smoothly and almost mechanically, I know it's the ass whooping fucking Wasabi handed me. God damn! That's a motherfucking nigga faggot. Can you remember when you weren't such a nigga faggot? Dude, I thought you were actually funny when you weren't such a fucking nigga faggot. Nothing but a faggot. Everywhere I go, look at this damn nigga faggot. Now that's a straight up nigger faggot. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and minority groups who had to put up with that video. Nigger faggot. I was being cruel, hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings. Nigger faggot.